Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Club Top Shot. I swear it's only been about 48 hours since we've done one of these, but in Top Shot time, it feels like an eternity. We got Logan Paul out here aping into Cryptopunks. I mean, the world is moving fast. And tonight we have a very special show. We've got all the regulars back in the house, but we got our VIP tonight. You know him from the Jacksonville Jags. It is, of course, wide receiver Chris Conley out of the University of Georgia and budding NFT superstar. What's up, Chris?
Hey, I appreciate you guys having me. I'm ready to get to work.
Yes, that's what we're looking for. By the end of this stream, and Jennings, you can see the smirk on his face. He will convince you to buy so many things while you're sitting there. So I'm excited. I like to
know what.
There you go.
Right. Well, we were. Let me quickly. We got Andy and Mike back in the house. How you guys doing?
I'm doing great.
Doing well. Happy to be back.
Yeah, Mike has a new mic. He's upgraded his setup, but who's putting us all to shame in the A&V department? It's Chris Conley over here. I mean, look at this setup, man. You look like you could be hosting an NPR show right now.
Man, one day we'll see. Been working on the voice for it, but I mean, I like to, stream and play lots of video games. I spend a lot of time doing it. And over the course of time, I've acquired a few pieces of gear. And I'm into photography and filmography, so I've had cameras, and I got to have some lights. Brother's a little dark skinned, so you got to keep the face bright. But this setup's kind of come over time, but it works for me.
Excellent. And just if you guys are coming in we are going to do a giveaway tonight. I'm going to drop that link in the chat in a little bit. You guys can fill out a Google form. But I am very curious right now, Chris, in kind of where you are at with NFTs, with Top Shot. What's it been like kind of diving into all of this?
It's like a whirlwind of information. Kind of like you said when you were starting, the show, saying that it feels like we were just on here, but so many things have happened. When you're behind the 8 ball, when you're kind of catching up on these things, it kind of seems like you're never caught up. And, I caught wind of NFTs probably a month and a half ago. And as I've been researching, as I've been seeing all of the different mediums and different types of NFTs, I still feel like as soon as I feel like I have a grasp on it, something else puts a spin on it, and I have no idea what I'm looking at.
Yeah, I definitely feel similarly. Every time I finally read up on one thing, I'm like, oh, I'm excited about these hash masks. Everyone's already moved on from hash masks. I'm like, wait, is it too late for me to get a hash mask? What have been some of the projects that have kind of intrigued you? You said you're a big art guy.
Yeah, and I've been seeing some of the digital art that's being passed around and how that market's really grown. I always thought when I was younger that at this point I would be collecting actual art. And that would be kind of a source of revenue and kind of an investment that I would make. And now the way that these NFTs are moving, it's really making me reconsider what that really looks like. I guess that 2020 and 2021 have really moved the world into this digital space, and it's flying at rocket pace.
For sure. And just be careful, Jack, knowing that you are into physical art, he will try to sell you that painting of his brothers over his shoulder. Do not buy it. It's awful artwork.
It's not bad. It's one of a kind. Scarcity.
Did you do it yourself? That's my question.
No, I can't do anything myself.
No, Jack's parents dragged them to the mall and they sat in this photo booth for about 4 hours while someone drew this.
We've all been there.
Yeah.
Mike, you got
sir.
the headphones, you got the stuff going on. I think we need to give Chris some introduction into the world of Top Shot, because it sounds like he's on board with the concept of NFTs, but we got to get him some foundation for building his Top Shot collection. I guess the first question, Chris, do you have a Top Shot account right now?
It's in the works right now. It's in the works.
Okay.
We'll have to bring you back on so you can show your account and get gifts from the user base.
There we go. I didn't know that was a thing.
Oh yeah, that's the new thing. You get on Twitter, you post your username, and the gifts flow in.
Oh, I love gifts.
The thing was, I was trying to think, who are some of the Georgia guys we can get you? I wanted to have the people send you some Anthony Edwards moments. The problem is, those are a pretty hot commodity right now, Chris.
Well, who knows?
We could get him a KCP.
Generous.
Yeah, we can get him a Casey. Who are the other Georgia guys? Pete, I know you did your research.
My research was asking Andy who went to Georgia, and he also told me Nick Claxton.
I did not go to Georgia.
No. I'm sorry. I mean, you told me who went to Georgia.
Yes. Google's a beautiful thing.
Hang on. This is what I'm going to say, Chris. I don't know what's going on with getting your account made, but you need to get that account made while the show's going on, because we're going to gift you some moments, but we got to know your username to be able to gift you some moments.
All right, let me check in on this.
Yeah.
Right now.
We got to expedite this.
And Pete, I just want to show the user base, or the fans, the audience, my new mic setup, because I know last time I was on was with Damien. I think that was the last time I was on, and it was absolutely mortifying that I had to get the call out here for having negative
love the
feedback.
new mic, but the headphones are really doing it for me.
So these are my gaming headphones. I play Warzone. I'm miserably bad at Warzone. I have like a 0.9 KD. It's embarrassing. But I brought my gaming headphones out. But the more important aspect of my setup is this new mic, and this is what is called a Yeti, and I think it's doing good things. Hopefully everyone can hear me okay, but it was absolutely mortifying last week when Damien was on. I was trying to ask him a question, and the feedback was, we can't hear a thing you're saying, Mike.
Yeah. Once everyone knew how much Top Shots is in your account, they said you got to just fork it over for an $80 entry level mic. I mean, that's the least you can do.
This was 110. I got McDonald's for lunch today to make up for it.
There you go. We haven't heard from Pete Jennings down there. You still burning the candle at both ends? How's Gracie sleeping these days?
Gracie's great, man. Just deep into the NFT rabbit hole. All these people are buying punks. We've had some crazy auctions in the music space, which I think is really cool. Just talking to more and more people, which is fun. A lot of media is reaching out, which is just a good sign for the overall ecosystem. So, even like Paris Hilton. What do we think about Paris Hilton talking about freaking NFTs? Like, there's the polarizing topic of Logan Paul and him creating NFTs out of his Pokemon break. Like, we're definitely in that wave where people are experimenting and there might be some bad actors, but what are your guys' thoughts? I guess I'll kick it to Andy, who's been in the space the longest.
Yeah, so I actually think with Paris Hilton in particular, I almost wonder if it's one of those so bad that it's good situations where it's like just such an absurd thing that you could possibly buy that maybe people are going to want it just because it's Paris Hilton. Like, there are a few more just random obscure celebrities who could make an NFT, but in general, I would say it's not that surprising that famous people are doing this because it makes sense, because you can make 6 to 7 figures with very minimal effort at this point. But I'm interested to see kind of how much backlash does come out with regards to people talking about it being like predatory to people who are buying these NFTs and stuff, because they're not saying, oh, this is going to be really valuable one day, you're gonna this is going to have crazy cash flow and all this stuff like people were talking about with ICOs that were happening like 4 years ago. It's just Logan Paul saying, want to buy this picture of me opening a Charizard for $20,000, and people are like, hell yeah, I do. So I really have a hard time quantifying how much of it is like being a bad actor or like taking advantage of people, as opposed to just realizing that there's really weird people on the internet who want to pay $20,000 to own a video of you opening a Charizard Pokemon pack.
Jack, if we interviewed a few of the people that bought those Logan Paul break moment NFTs, what do you think their story would be? That they're just huge Logan Paul fans, that they think it's an investment? Like, what I would be fascinated to know their investment thesis.
That's the thing, is I was really excited about what he did that launched it. It got him into a break, so there was some value to it there. Plus, it was his first thing. It was kind of cool. And then he does this. He's selling a YouTube video, right? It's almost like he's trying to expose the NFT industry in itself. I can't even picture who that fan would be, because to buy a $20,000 piece of YouTube highlight, you need a lot of money. And I don't think a lot of Logan Paul's followers are like that. So I was pretty shocked that that stuff sold out. I went back and checked back, and everything was kind of sold out.
Chris, do you have the wheels turning here? We get a few of you going up in the air, making a one-handed catch. We put them on the blockchain. People start buying some Chris Conley NFTs. You get that cheddar. It sounds pretty nice.
As I see more and more of these, I start picturing some of the photographs and videos that I have around my house, the man cave type stuff over your career. And I start thinking, you know what? They might be onto something here. I'm really interested to see where this goes. The NBA is running this right now. I'm really interested to see when these other leagues start taking advantage of this and what it really looks like for us, the players. Every league is so different. Every athlete is at different phases in their lives. And I'm interested to see how this goes for us, because we have these really volatile careers. They pop off, they go big, but they're short in comparison to other sports. So I'm really interested to see what NFTs do to the NFL. Has
there been any talk between other teammates or just players in the league about Top Shot at all? And any conversation you've had with other players about the potential for that? Or is this more something that you've just been thinking about yourself?
I feel like since this has really popped off in a larger space, the season's kind of been over. And at this point, everyone's kind of on that, hey, don't talk to me, don't text me. I don't want to see your face because I was with you for 8 months kind of thing. I think when we all get back together, that this is going to be a humongous part of the conversation. I remember when Bitcoin was blowing up, just the buzz in the locker room that was going on, and the number of guys, there was a handful of guys who had gotten in on it early, and the money that they were making. And it was just like excitement. It's not like they had invested to the point where it was like everything, but it was something that was fun. And it kept training camp different. And, that kind of was the buzz for that whole year and a half with, cryptocurrency and everyone figuring out blockchain. And I think the same stuff is going to happen with NFTs.
Well, the chat, you're going to have a long NFL career, but the chat is already ready to line up for your radio broadcasting career. They are
we should tokenize his voice right now and see how many people buy it and actually see how much they like it.
Baritone butter, somebody just said.
It's unbelievable.
Butter.
Silky smooth. Silky smooth.
It's like I'm stuck with this nasally, high-pitched, like barely post-pubescent voice, and then you get these golden pipes. I mean, how is that fair, Chris?
Some of us got to practice for what we do after our first job. I can only take so many hits to the head. I can only take so many, and then I got to figure something else out.
The chat's also getting excited about the thought of Trevor Lawrence throwing to Chris Conley and getting some NFTs of that. I mean, I know the draft pick isn't technically in yet, but are you getting excited about new additions to your squad this offseason?
I'm thinking that is pretty much a lock. And I can say this because technically right now I'm a free agent, so I can make comments on everything. I think that's pretty much, I think that's the direction they're going to go. And I think it's a great direction to go in. He has all of that talent, and not only does he have the talent, but he seems like he has the temperament. Temperament is huge when it comes to young quarterbacks, and I've had the opportunity to play with some really good quarterbacks, and one of the best young ones in the game right now. I got to spend a couple years with him, and his temperament off the charts. So I'm interested to see what Trevor Lawrence can do.
That's nice. Steve, this was uncalled for. Pete has no lips and no smooth voice. Anyways, go ahead, Pete.
I was just going to say, I think the market agrees. Lawrence is minus 5,000 to be the number one pick. So if you want to win $100 on Lawrence being the number one pick,
is it really only? I thought it'd be way more than that. Like I actually
think about the time horizon. You have to risk that money, and you also have like the time decay too. So
and in injury potential or something unexpected.
Yeah, there's some very. Yeah, I don't
he ain't getting injured.
Right. Yeah, I was gonna say, you're essentially getting minus 5,000 odds that, knock on wood, Trevor Lawrence doesn't like something bad happen.
I want to get
you guys know. like the pre-draft process for a quarterback of that caliber, his body is just being looked after every day. He's getting hands-on care being taken of his shoulder. He's probably doing classroom work. He's probably out there. If he's doing any throws at all, it's so light right now. Your 3-year-old daughter could do it. So
this is a great segue, the pre-draft conversation into your combine experience. And there's a very noteworthy fact about you that I think a lot of people know, that you had the highest vertical in combine history. Can you tell us, did you expect to take that record when you entered the combine?
I didn't know. I didn't know if I was going to take the record because I actually didn't know what the record was going into it. But I always knew I had some bounce. Back in my day, we used to call it bunnies. I got mad bunnies, and so I knew I was going to, get to the combine and I was going to jump well. Now, the thing that everyone tries to do at the combine is to try to cheat the drill because they have to measure the length of your arm and they're going to subtract the length of your arm from what you jump. And so everybody tries to, pull their shoulder down so that they measure short. My year at the combine, they weren't having it. They had somebody right there who pulled your shoulder as high as they could pull it. And they measured the longest length they could measure. And you only get 2 jumps. And this is about at 5:30-ish in the morning. So they wake you up out of bed. You don't eat. You're barely hydrated. They say, hey, run, jump, and catch the ball.
So you're telling me 45 inches may understate your true talent level? At
that point, yes. Now with these knees, I don't know. This is going on. This is 7 years.
Hey,
7 years in the league right now.
Chris, no, you're on the free agency, candidate trail. You can't be putting that FUD out there. We need to say that you got a 50-inch vert right now for any, organizations out there listening.
Hey, if they're on this call right now, not only do you need to sign me, but you need to give me some NFTs, okay? Pay me in NFTs. But I mean, honestly, I think the biggest name in the game is taking care of your body. You look at the way that the greats in the NBA are doing it, and really, we learn so much from them. They learn a lot from us on how to take care of your body over these seasons. And thank God, with the injuries that I've had, the surgeries that I've had, I've always had a good team around me to take care of my body, and I can still outrun, all those first year guys. I can outjump them, outrun them. Not a problem.
Yeah, I wanted to dive in because I actually was going to ask a similar question because I saw a video today that was just so fun. Tyreek Hill playing basketball. No one's around him, but just you can see how explosive he is. And I think a lot of NFL receivers are probably really good basketball players. And I've actually had this talk on a podcast because I always get excited watching like guys dunk over the goalpost or whatever. What percentage of NFL receivers can dunk, and what percentage of NFL receivers could do like a 360 dunk? I would guess it's close to 100 on can dunk. Maybe there's a couple
on can dunk. I would say, you're in the 95 to 99% that can dunk, because not only are receivers explosive if they're short, like Tyreek, extremely explosive. I had the fortunate opportunity. I played 4 years in Kansas City, so I got to see his first couple years, and that dude is explosive out of this world. But most shorter receivers are explosive. The taller ones are just, they're still explosive, but a lot of them are tall enough that dunking's not, difficult for them either. On a 360,
I know you can do it, and I want to hear your best dunk. Like, you were definitely throwing down in college. Like, I'm sure.
Yeah, I mean, the bounce was a lot easier back then, and so I mean, you could windmill, you could do all of that stuff. Now, I don't know.
Wait, can we address where my mind immediately went? Mm-hmm. Can you name the wide receivers who can't dunk?
Cole Beasley. Cole Beasley, for sure.
I bet you Cole Beasley can dunk.
No, there's video of Cole Beasley dunking. Yeah.
He can dunk.
Is there anyone that would pop in your head?
There's probably like one random.
If there was a receiver who couldn't dunk, he would be older. He'd be towards the end of his career, because football, it takes your knees and your ankles and destroys them. So he would be towards the end of his career, and it wouldn't be one of the short receivers. The short receivers are very explosive.
I was thinking
slot, you got to get in and out.
Someone who's like torn ACL
can dunk.
Achilles, man.
Andy's like, who's torn Achilles guy?
I'm an Achilles reconstruction guy.
Dude.
And so I would say it would be an older guy who has lower leg injury, who's real tall, not my tall, like
Chat,
maybe like 3
all
inches
right.
taller than me, 2 inches taller than
Chat
me.
says Julian Edelman. That kind of fits. He's been going through some injury stuff. He's older.
I bet he can get it.
Oh, he could probably still dunk.
I'm gonna do some YouTube searching.
Yeah, talk to me about the Achilles, and I know I'm still. I had that injury; it's the worst. But like, how do you get the confidence to come back and like make those quick movements? Because like as a receiver, you're relying on those like really explosive, quick moves. Like, what was that process like?
It was long and it was tough. It was earlier in my career, and I had to learn a lot about myself during that year. Because I missed a good majority of the season, and when you're not in the locker room where you're normally every day, you kind of start questioning things and you don't feel like you're as much part of the team. But in the process of coming back, I was really able to focus in on the work that I would do every day. Learning how to walk again. I had to learn how to walk. I had to learn how to run or jog. I had to learn how to cut. In every stage, you kind of mentally lock in a little more and say, okay, like I've made it this far, I can do more. When the doctors tell you, hey, there's a chance that you don't run, you take it as a challenge. And then ultimately it comes down to what we do every day. Even though it's the off season, it's really early in the off season, I work out twice a day right now. I'm in cleats. I do this every day, and I know what my body feels like, and I'm really in tune to my limitations, and I try to push them every day. And so really pushing through that injury, you come out stronger. You might not have as much pop in that leg, but you're a more complete player on the other side.
Yeah, that's cool. And obviously you get to spend some time reflecting and doing some other stuff too. And we can dive back into NFTs because we definitely.
Yeah, I was gonna say let's get him. Let's dive into Top Shot. Let's
non-fungible tendon. Love it.
See, you have a better radio voice, and you're funnier than me. This is awful.
I stole that. Someone said that in the chat. Okay. I'll give them credit.
Real quick too, as we transition into NFT talk, as promised, there is the Twitter giveaway tonight. First of all, if you haven't retweeted it, that is part of it. It's following Chris Conley on Twitter. It is retweeting that and then filling out the Google form that I just posted. I'm only going to post this a few times. It's just for people watching. Also, I will remove duplicates. And this time, if you put in your name twice, I will remove you altogether. So no funny business. Put in your name one time. We are giving away a Carl Anthony Towns cool cat. My guy, Chris G, one of the club VIPs, reached out to me, said, I just want to give this away to the club viewers tonight. And I said, Chris, what do you actually want, man? You want followers? You want Instagram followers? What do you want, Chris? He said, nope, I just want to give it away. So shout out to Chris G, retweet, follow our guy, Chris Conley on Twitter. It's @FlightConley. Fill out that Google form. We'll do the drawing later tonight. Jack, did you have a question about NFTs for Mr. Flight Conley?
No, I want to go Cryptopunk shopping with him and see if we can find any that he relates to. And I don't know if we can get him to pull the trigger on stream or if his MetaMask is fired up. But I think, Pete, if you pull up some Cryptopunks, we can talk through them. And then we can also talk into why, some of us have invested in those. And maybe we do a fractional investment in some Cryptopunks together.
Chris, have you heard of Cryptopunks? Are these intriguing to you?
I have not. And so now
you're in for a treat.
If you guys want to plant any ideas in my head, now is the moment. Before I research it myself, bring it on.
Who's going to have the best sell here?
I've seen these.
I think Peter might have the best sell. I feel like he would be the best salesman.
Jennings, you're up.
Oh, man. I mean, what's your honest first reaction when you see one of these?
I feel like I am playing an arcade game in the 90s, early 90s.
Okay. Is
that a good thing or a bad thing?
It's a good thing. I love arcades. This is my game room. I have my own cabinet here.
So this is essentially like the rookie card for NFTs. It's not technically an NFT. Going really into it, but
so I got into a debate with this. It is technically an NFT. It's not technically an ERC 721 token, but it is a non-fungible token in the fact that it's a modified ERC 20. Someone called me out on Twitter, and they are correct. So,
that's good to know. Well, now I stand corrected. I've given that same
same
couple times, but
same here.
That makes the narrative even better. But basically, this is the rookie card, and there's only 10,000. The developers gave them away initially. And the coolest part now is we're seeing some really big investors come in, and kind of the OGs of the crypto space are here. Logan Paul just announced they spent $170,000 on these things. Gary Vee has been talking extensively about it. Basically, the biggest players have these, because if NFTs are as big as we think they are, these are going to be like the biggest flex that you can have. They're the true rookie card. And yeah, it's wild what they're going for. A couple of these have sold for over $1 million this week, Chris. Just one of these avatars.
Wow.
So there's 10,000 of them, and that makes them obviously scarce to a degree, right? If everyone in the world knows about NFTs, 10,000 is not a lot. What other factors, guys, are there to?
So they were randomly generated. Basically, they have a bunch of different types of traits, and you'll notice that there's a lot of things that are duplicated on here, like different hairdos. Some have like cigarettes, some have hoodies on, and each trait has a rarity. So people generally value the more scarce traits more. The total rarest thing is actually, there's one CryptoPunk that has 7 unique traits, and that is a one of one. There's no other CryptoPunk that has 7 unique traits. Then outside of that, there are aliens, which are really rare. There's only 9. There's currently, what's the highest bid for an alien right now? Like
2.2 million, I think.
Yeah, it's like a $2.2 million offer to buy an alien, which has not been accepted by the owner. So that's one of the big draws, is just that there's a ton of different traits that you can find attractive. For example, I really like the orange beanie that some of them have. Like that's the trait that I like the most. And if I'm going to buy one that I'm going to spend a lot of money on, I want one with an orange beanie. And so there's a lot of fun different ways that you can kind of go with it as well.
This one kind of looks like Odell Beckham. What do you think?
It would need to have blonde hair.
With a cigarette in his mouth, I don't know. I don't know.
Go to the for sale, and let's show the floor, and then we'll look at what's out there. If you scroll, keep going.
I'll throw some tidbits in on what I like about punks myself. So as Jennings said, they are the first NFT on Ethereum. And one thing that I like to stress to people is I think there's a lot of supply coming on in the NFT space. A lot of people have now seen how lucrative it can be. And so I think a lot of creators, a lot of artists, a lot of celebrities are going to be creating a lot of NFTs, a lot of which are attractive, aesthetically pleasing, high quality. And so I'm a little bit hesitant myself to outlay significant dollars on something that I just think looks good today, because I think there's a lot of talent forthcoming, and I don't know what the market's going to look like in a few years. But an important thing is, no matter what comes from this point forward, whatever supply comes, Cryptopunks will always be the first NFT and the project that pioneered NFTs as we know it today. Without Cryptopunks, there isn't really an NFT ecosystem the way we know it today. And one other thing I'd add is that the developers themselves actually released 9,000 of the 10,000 punks for free when they released them. And there's a big feeling in the crypto industry that of inclusiveness and accessibility and things like that. And there's no better way to exemplify that than by releasing your project for free effectively. And it actually took, I think, a week for the 9,000 to be claimed. So it's incredible, obviously, how far they've come. Now it costs a minimum of $34,000 to get in, and they were literally free up front.
So, Chris, what do you kind of got the bird's eye overview here. You don't have to have a hot take, but gut reaction, in or out on CryptoPunks?
Gut reaction. Take everything that I say with a grain of salt, because I may be the head of this household, but I have the neck upstairs, and she will turn the head. So any decisions that I make have to go through the warden. You know what I mean? But I think that the information on CryptoPunks makes it really intriguing. The fact that there is only 10,000, and the fact that they really are what started all of this craze in the first place. And so that in and of itself makes me want to go and give the same pitch you gave to me to the warden and get her to look at it. But I think that's awesome. And the fact that 9,000 of them were free is huge. And I think that's kind of the sense that I've been getting from NFTs is, every step we take towards this decentralized future is.
Are you laughing at that chat, Chris?
Oh, I haven't even seen it yet. Straight
no, we got our...
Heck yeah, man. I'm freaking simping like crazy, bro. Simping like crazy. Y'all learn one day. Y'all learn one day.
We all got our wardens in our lives. I also want to tell you, Chris, these price points, they're a little outrageous. Fractional investing is possible in these CryptoPunks. I actually just bought a fifth of one. So I don't own a full CryptoPunk, but I do own this sliver of one. So it is possible. Maybe you, Visca, DJ Chark, Minshew, you guys all go in on one and you get a sliver.
I like that idea.
I think we need to get a Jacksonville Jaguars, or should you re-sign with the Jaguars, a Jacksonville Jaguars team CryptoPunk.
So the thing is, that would be more difficult. So let me give you two examples. If I was in Kansas City, that would have been, I feel like getting in the group text and being like, yo, guys, let's get this, everybody gets a fifth of this CryptoPunk. What's a CryptoPunk? Dude, a CryptoPunk is amazing. Well, I don't know. That's Patrick. I don't know what a CryptoPunk is. And I could convince them to do that because the team's a lot older. And honestly, they're more liquid. Jacksonville is such a young team. There is no way that I'm talking anybody into buying a CryptoPunk. They're just so young. They haven't been in the league that long, haven't made a lot of money. They're not doing that. But I know a couple guys that I might text.
There you go.
So what if CryptoPunks make it into an NFL locker room? Let's say you buy one outright, like most normal humans do. Do you think it would catch on? Do you think it would be because a lot of suspicion behind this being a good investment over time is it's just going to be a flex to some people. Like there's people with a lot of money who are going to see something that they can't have and they know they can pay for. Could you see that? Like, is that an NFL type thing or NFTs? I know it's early, but one day down the road, could you see like a player not owning a CryptoPunk being like, a flex?
I think between the upper, I don't want to say this the wrong way and come off the wrong way, but between that top percent of the league, the guys who are on the ESPN scroll board, $135 million contract, those guys. Between those guys, I think it will become something that's common because, some people just need something to put their money into. Between the majority of the league, I don't know, because the era of keeping up with the Joneses, per se, in the league has kind of passed. Everyone saw the 30 for 30 broke, right. And that was really a humongous issue, not only in the NFL, but in the NBA and other professional sports leagues. So guys have kind of wised up to knowing, hey, I may play on the team with so-and-so, but I don't make the money that so-and-so has, and I don't have the NFTs that so-and-so has. So I think between, certain guys, we'll start seeing them in their collections, just like they collect, cars and art. I think NFTs will become that, but it will only be for a certain part of that population.
You mentioned Bitcoin up front. What percentage of the NFL do you think owns at least a fraction of a Bitcoin?
A lot. Because the name, I would say it this way, because of the name, because the name Bitcoin spread through the locker room like a wildfire. Now, if NFTs were going by the names, was it Steam? What?
CryptoPunks?
CryptoPunks. If NFTs were going by the name CryptoPunk, then I think I could see that happening because a guy doesn't even have to know what it is, but he knows where to find it. He knows where to buy it. He knows where to research it. And he's going to go straight to CryptoPunks. Now, the problem with NFTs right now is you type in NFT and 1,000 things pop up.
Yeah.
Now, until, the diamonds start rising up and, they separate the wheat from the chaff, and we know what's going to really be the future of NFTs, I don't think that's going to happen yet.
Yeah, I think that's a very good way to think about it. And I think everyone understands right now that when you see Logan Paul sell a clip of him opening up a Pokemon card for $10,000, that we might be in the euphoric state of mania here, and that thing isn't going to be worth much here in a few years. And that's why I think the CryptoPunk narrative is pretty compelling as that origin story there. But let's talk a little Top Shot, because I'm curious. I know we're still working on getting you your account. Do we have any updates here from your henchman, the warden? What's going on over here?
The account is up.
Let's go.
It's up. We've made it.
Okay.
Houston, we're here.
All right. Let's get the name. Give me the name here.
The name. It's Conman with 2 N's. Well, so let me I'm just going to spell it.
Just spell it. Let's just spell it out.
I'll just spell it. CON.
Yep.
MANN 3118.
I'm more of a visual guy. Can we get a screen share?
This is what we're going to do.
Get a screen share?
I got it scrolling on the ticker, and we're also going to head over here on the screen share as well.
Conman with another N.
What NBA team did you
which
pick?
is my college number, 18, which is my pro number.
What was your favorite NBA player?
It says Heat fan. Are you a Heat fan?
Yeah. I mean, my mom's side of the family is all from Fort Lauderdale. And so the way they put it is there's something in the water. So when you just grow up in, that family, you're a Heat fan. That comes with all the bad years. That comes with the glory days. It comes with all of it.
Look at this. All right. So we got to get you some moments. We can't have you being a no mentor.
Yeah, give me one of your favorite players. Give me something.
Tell Andy your favorite player.
Your account or your lady's account?
Yeah,
that's
dude,
my account. Okay.
Jeff Jones is coming at you hard.
Okay, that's my account. If the warden wants to shut it down, she can try, and she might. But it's my account. Okay.
Chris, you got 2 of the biggest Top Shot holders out there. Both Andy and Mike here have 8-figure Top Shot accounts at current market prices. So you might want to say your favorite players. Like,
y'all got any Heat guys? I know that there's somebody who's hot right now. I'm just waiting for you guys to say his name.
All right, you're officially no longer a no mentor. You have an Ish Smith in the account sent to you by my guy Willis. Willis is one of our club VIPs. He got you your first gift, an Ish Smith.
Oh, thank you, Willis. Willis. It's just such a wonderful name. I'll never forget it.
Willis is a great dude. Who's your Heat guy?
I mean, so this is a question I've had, and it's a good time to ask it. Do Top Shots only contain recent moments, or have they started digging into the archives and going back towards iconic moments of yesteryear? Is that a thing?
Yeah, I can answer that. So actually, it was interesting. So last season, towards the end of the NBA season, when the finals were underway, a lot of people were asking kind of what are they going to do during the off season, and they came out with a set called Run It Back. And Run It Back was a set of plays from the 2013-2014 season, and they broke it into 2 different sets. The first half were current players with 2013-2014 kind of throwback moments, and a lot of the players in that set were rookies in that season. So the big hit there was Giannis was a rookie in 2013-2014. And obviously, since Top Shot's a new product, he doesn't have any rookie cards. So the Run It Back version of Giannis is a very sought after card, as it's his only rookie card, however you want to think of that. And then the next set were all retired players. So there's Tim Duncan, Dirk Nowitzki. Yeah, we can see some here. And it was a very, very popular set, especially for the retired players, because for Dirk, there are only 275 total moments for him on the entire platform, which is the 275 editions of this one moment. And so in answer to your question, yes, they have older throwback moments, and they will have more. They've teased that there will be a set that comes out with plays from the 2005 to 2010 window coming up this season, I think over the next few weeks or months.
I can't believe how cheap. Okay, cheap's probably not the word.
Here we go, Jack.
I can't believe how much the Giannis dropped. The Giannis was all the way up at like 45, 50K, and now 27K.
Yeah. Jack, you're not being very relatable. You said normal people have their own punks, and now Giannis is cheap. But you got to pull back a little here.
I caught that.
I got
people, and I was like, I need to be
Chris,
friends with you.
I got my favorite player on the Heat going to you.
Oh, all right. Let's see what Andy. And also, Jack is getting so unrelatable these days. He's playing knockout for $100,000 on Friday. I mean, this kid, he's out of control.
Jennings relates to that.
Yeah, maybe
Dude,
the one.
Get me in that competition.
I just want to say here, did you send him the BAM, Andy?
Yes, I sent him the BAM on the left.
Ooh, baby, look at this. Series one. So your collection, Chris, is starting to take flight here, dare I say. We got a Kem Birch, an Al Horford, Isaiah Roby. I'm not going to pronounce his last name because I got made fun of last time. Nicola. And then we have two BAMs here, a Series 2 and a Series 1. How are you liking this? You like coming on the show and getting gifted all these NFTs?
I love gifts. I love gifts. You know, you guys have made me feel so welcome. And, you know, I can't say his name either, but I love it.
Let's give a shout out to these people. Oh my God, Will is giving you the Kem Birch in addition to the Ish Smith. Let's see who gave you the Horford. This is fun. We can go check NovaNet. Shout out NovaNet for your generosity. We got Isaiah Roby here. Who gave the Roby? I don't know. That's
looks like Stewie. Stewie's the most recent.
Okay.
That moment's moved around a lot.
I was like, did that already get flipped?
Whoa, we got more coming in. I love it.
Look at this. All right, now I don't know how the blockchain's working. I can't tell who's giving these. But look at this, man. Your collection's blowing up, Chris. You come on the show and all of a sudden you have more moments than me.
Wow. All I can say is wow. Give me. I'm taking your job.
You already did. You have a better radio voice than me. You're funnier than me. And now you're going to have more moments than me. My job is done here. I'm just going to exit stage left and you're going to host the stream.
Well, you have a workout at 7 a.m. tomorrow. Get ready to get up and lift. And training camp starts in August. So,
and I have a warden now as well, I assume, with this Freaky Friday
switch.
Have
the warden. The warden stays. But everything else, you're welcome to. Yeah.
No, I got my own warden, man. Let me tell you. No, I'm just kidding.
Conman 3118. Is that right?
Yeah.
Yep.
Put that on the screen one more time.
Yeah. Pete's digging into the couch cushions. What has he got over there?
Another heat moment.
Look at this.
And this is something that we can talk about, just some of the strategy here on Top Shot. Let's see.
Yeah, I would like to know. I feel like I understand the whole fan side of knowing your team and having your players. You know, you want to, like, if I was going for Heat guys, I would want, you know, to go for the Tyler Hero and the Jimmy Butler and stuff like that. I understand that, but more of the investing side. I know we have guys here who invest in, you know, Top Shot and NFTs. I'd love to hear your perspective on what your approach is to, you know, your collections.
Who's an investor here? Like,
give Mike. Let Mike take that.
All right.
Yeah, he's
Mike or Andy, but I think
the guy
for Mike.
Okay, so first I have to share a boring comment that I've talked to you guys about behind the scenes, but I guess before the chat skewers me for not sending Chris a moment. So this is part of the investment side of my account right now. My account has reached sort of unfathomable sizes right now, very life-changing money, and I have therefore taken some action to try and diversify and I guess diminish risk from my portfolio in the form of I have now put my collection into an LLC and am probably selling off membership interests to my family business, which is not the most exciting club conversation, but I can't send moments from my account right now, in short, while this is all underway. And so if anyone that is watching right now that I've done a deal with before that knows who I am, so I don't have to have a sketchy transaction, wants to send Chris an $100 moment, I will happily Venmo you $100 to compensate you for it. Whatever, get Chris a moment and hit me up. But unfortunately, it can't come from my account right now.
Mike, just real quick, I literally did a tax show yesterday where it was 45 minutes talking about whether to file your winnings as gambling miscellaneous income or as a Schedule C. We can talk about forming LLCs on this show. This is a safe space.
Okay, so there are several points of rationale here. The plan is effectively to move my account into an LLC, sell membership interests in the LLC, keep the cash that from the proceeds of the membership interest sale within the LLC and reinvest elsewhere in real estate, stocks, anything like that. And by doing it that way, I am personally able to take cash off the table without triggering capital gains taxes by selling individual moments. And so that's part of the strategy. And it also gives me the ability to sell rather than sell individual moments and take cash off the table and lose the moments themselves. I can sell basically 10% of my portfolio. So 10% effectively of each individual moment without having to move any moments outside of my account. And it's tax efficient and an easy way to diversify my account. And yeah, the deeper aspect there is I work for my family business, and as I think all of us have experienced, and Chris, you will experience, I can assure you, you'll spend time on Top Shot when you should be doing things towards your career. Your 2-a-day workouts may fall back to 1 or 0 pretty quickly once you dive in here. I see you giving me a look. We'll talk in a couple of weeks. We'll see where you're at.
If Top Shot is bringing in that kind of money, I'm all for it. I'm all for it.
Yes.
You know, I'm gonna come down here, sit at my computer in a suit every day.
So anyway, so that's kind of my plan, and I want to realign with my family business because I'm spending a lot of time during the day when I should be spending my working hours working on the family business on Top Shot practically. And so by doing the LLC structure, it allows my family to kind of realign and benefit from Top Shot activities, and I feel better about watching NBA clips during the day.
Mike, I love you, but it feels like you're reading a script that your accountant told you to put out publicly so you can clip it and send it to the IRS when they audit you.
It's all above board. It's all above board.
On Evaluate.market, you're like this close to having a $20 million account value right now, which is pretty freaking wild.
Look at that. $20 million in Top Shots, $100 Yeti, Mike.
Wow.
$20,000 chandelier over the shoulder. You love it.
This is crazy. Like I knew there was, money in this conversation, and like that, like putting perspective on it is really cool. Kind of because, it goes with all of the technology. I'm a tech guy, and just seeing how this technology has progressed to the point where that kind of money is moving, not just on the platform, but with one dude. Like, that's freaking sweet, and I'm happy for you. That's awesome.
Thank you. It's a big stroke of luck, and Andy and I are both to blame and to credit for each other's success. We were in a couple group chats in the early days here, and we basically egged each other on to just keep investing in the very, very early days here when they were around 500 or 1,000 users, and today we're looking at north of 200,000 users. So. Jeff Jones is back.
Wow, Jeff. I would say you don't know how money works, or how football works,
or how simping works.
Yeah, either.
So that's the end of my boring LLC talk. Now, in terms of the investing side of things, I think there are a lot of different ways to approach buying and selling these moments. You can take the kind of safer route and get the household names, the LeBrons, the Steph Curry, the Giannis's, and you probably have a different risk profile there. You have downside protection. If any of those three guys gets injured, you're probably not having a full write-off of your moments. If LeBron gets injured, you could argue it actually would help your moments because it'll probably reduce the overall supply of LeBron in the marketplace. And so that's kind of the safe approach. And as the platform grows and becomes more popular, it'll probably tick up slowly and you'll do all right. Then another approach that a lot of people have taken recently is buying rookie moments. And I think that's the sports card industry, the physical card, which Jack and Overzet can speak more to. I'm personally disgusted by physical cards. They just seem exhausting.
Don't talk bad about physical cards. That's how I made some of my first money.
All the
Don't
players.
disrespect my Pokemon cards, Mike.
Hang on, let me see these, Andy. Hang on, let me go big screen. I need to see your Pokemon stash here. Oh, you muted
You're
yourself.
muted.
Muted himself.
My Venusaur is still in the mail from StockX, but I got some nice. I think these are PSA 7. Yeah, they're nothing's fancy.
Oh, PSA 7?
Yeah,
Yikes.
I know.
Andy, what do you call them? Andy calls these physical NFTs, which I think is
Yeah,
the
they're my
appropriate
physical
name for
NFTs.
them.
So what was interesting about Chris's reaction is a lot of the players are actually drawn to, not to the scale that like a lot of people put money into, but it is the first money they get. We had that conversation. I've had that with a ton of agents, which is like they're obsessed with that. It's the easiest deal they can ever broker. It's the easiest deal for the player. So I'm interested to see will Top Shot or whatever the NFL ends up doing, will they do that for their players? Will they give them a cut? Because not only is it the first money, but it's also like you get it recurring, right? But there's no upside to it, right? So if you're Patrick Mahomes and you have now made those cards worth millions of dollars, you don't actually get cut from that. Where with the blockchain and Top Shot and digital, you could potentially get dividends on top of that, which would be very interesting for the players.
Is that what's taking place right now with these players? Every time that these change hands, are the players seeing it or the NBA?
So yeah, it's still trickle down similar to the PA, right? Where you're just getting a share of the revenue. But I think my best guess would be if you do incentivize the players and give them a small cut, and I could be wrong that they're not already doing this, but my best bet is once you get the PA involved, get the players specifically to get a cut on every trade, that's where you really incentivize them to talk about the platform, be invested in it, engage in it, right? And they're you don't talk about your rookie cards that much because, outside of doing the deal, you don't get paid. But if you were, you'd be piping those things out all day long.
For sure.
Yeah. And they're cool, right?
Yeah, so I'll add to that right now the NBA Top Shot takes a 5% cut of every marketplace deal. And so it is public knowledge that they have some type of deal with the NBA Players Association. What that looks like is not public knowledge. So it's generally assumed that in some way the players and the NBA Players Association is seeing a cut of that 5% transaction fee, but it's not public knowledge what that is.
Cool. That would be good, to have those conversations. Not necessarily for the world to hear, but for some people in our Players Association to hear, because if you haven't paid attention, our league struggles sometimes with fairness. So, getting those things above board and kind of ironed out so that the players are involved would be great, because we tend to take 8 steps back before we take 1 forward in the NFL. And if we could get this right on the first try, that'd be great.
Well,
yeah,
I think
totally.
you're in a good spot. Just, I assume all this stuff is going to be coming very fast and things are going to move fast. And I think you getting your toes wet in the Top Shot and the NFT space, you're going to be ready to capitalize. And I know when we had Damian Leon from the Warriors, Jack was giving him some good advice on things that players can do to really embrace this and be on the forefront. And I think with your content, with your beautiful radio voice, being progressive with how you approach this stuff. I think I can already tell you, Chris, by looking at the chat, looking at Twitter, people fucking love you, man, as they should. So lean into this, man, because you can embrace this and people will embrace you for embracing it.
Yeah, no, I really appreciate that. And I think the biggest thing about myself is I'm a people person. So any topic that involves things that I'm into, it's an excellent opportunity for me to meet, awesome folks like yourself and to engage with people who are like in the chat right now, and it's a learning process for me. And spending time like this isn't work. And, I enjoy it.
Yeah, the UFC just is about to launch their known partner. I think that's going to be huge. I'll be interested to see the compensation for the fighters. Obviously, it's a different, dynamic with the UFC versus some other leagues. And Mark Cuban recently came out and said he's, anticipates NBA Top Shot being a top 3 revenue generator for the league, which is quite the statement given all sources of revenue.
I did read that article. I believe he said NFTs. And I think that is important to kind of clarify.
Because that could be tickets and stuff like that.
Yeah, it could be a million different things. I think people got, super bullish on Top Shot specifically. Obviously, we're all huge believers in Top Shot, but they've had their issues. There's always problems. There's new people who are going to come in and see the issues they had, take advantage of that. So I did just want to clear that up because I think it's important. I was misled by that headline. So I feel like a lot of people were too. But Chris, from an NFL perspective, right? Obviously, you would want to own your own moments, but who would be some teammates, cool plays, or like what rookies or young guys in the league that you think are just going to absolutely break out? So three different categories.
Really good question. Am I giving you guys my secrets? So you're going to go and buy these guys, when they pop off?
Yeah.
I think that when you've been in football for so long, things kind of become predictable, and you can kind of tell what guys are are doing well, who are going to continue to do well, and who are on, a trajectory to really be fan favorites, because there's a lot of guys in the league who not only are extremely talented, but they're literally some of the best guys you could meet ever. Some of these guys, I sit in the room with them and I go, dude, if we didn't play football, I would just think you're a fantastic human being. And those are the guys that you root for, and they become the favorites on their team. And then you have fans for those players on other teams. A guy that I would really buy, and I'm biased because I actually got to spend a year in college with this kid, never said a word. I've probably heard him say less than 100 words in real life, but hardest working kid I've ever been around, and an awesome guy, Nick Chubb. I would get Nick Chubb. I think Nick Chubb is going to be a great. I think that he's going to be a great. He has the work ethic. He has not changed. He still works out at his high school gym, stays with his parents. But when he goes out there on the field, he's a man on a mission. I've seen this man's leg explode and every single bone and joint and muscle get repaired, and him come back a year later squatting 600 pounds. He's not human. And not only that, he's the best person you could ever be around. I think he's going to play a long time in this league. He has his head on right. And I think that as long as they continue giving him the ball, he's going to continue doing things that wow us. He has a lot of those moments that I could see being on a Top Shot, a run where he breaks 8 tackles and goes for 90 yards. Other guys that I could see doing that, I mean, there's the obvious ones that you could go safe with, like the Patrick Mahomes, your Deshaun Watsons, guys like that. But young guys, I could see, for the Jags fans in the comments right now, I could see a Laviska Shenault.
Let's
see a
go.
Laviska, because he's extremely, extremely, extremely explosive.
Can I show one of my physical NFTs? My Laviska Colorado Buffaloes helmet here.
Ooh, love it. Love it. Love it. Love it. The thing, I feel like Laviska has the opportunity to have a career much like Sammy Watkins. He reminds me of Sammy Watkins. They have the same play style, the same explosiveness. The biggest thing for him is he's got to learn how to take care of his body. Now, if I see evidence of that moving forward, of the things that he's going to do, alternative medicines, the amount of money that he's putting in his body, I would invest heavily in him, because the longer he plays, the more plays he's going to make. Similar to him, young quarterback of the San Diego Chargers right now. Saw a lot of great things of him. I would invest in him. As a quarterback, Tom Brady has proven it. Guys can play for a really long time in this league. He's had a lot of eye-popping and wowing plays already in his young career. And I think as they get better coaching and as they really mesh and gel together as an offense, the sky is the limit for him.
All right, I have to do something, Chris. So I do a lot of fantasy football streams, and Laviska became kind of a cult hero this summer for the streams, to the point where I made a highlight video of whenever we drafted them. Whenever we mentioned Laviska, we had to play his highlight reel. So when you mentioned Viska, my chat is just screaming at me to play the highlight reel. So we're just going to do it here, guys. It's Laviska fucking Shenault. What do we think? What do we think, Chris?
Love it. That reminds me of he's a big, I feel like Laviska Shenault is exactly what you were talking about. Big upside, potential risk because of how he plays the game. He's a gambler. He would rather run someone over than run around them. He has all the speed to run around them, but he's going to run them over. In that opportunity, he has an opportunity to make a highlight type play, run through 2 people's faces, and keep on running. But then he also opens himself up to, unnecessary injury. And so that's one of the things I was really working with him on. Is like, hey, man, run around the guy. But for you guys want him to run him over. So I think that is a perfect example. You want to look for guys like that who are willing to take risks and really go out there to make a game-changing play.
What's the best moment from your career that you would want in a moment?
Man. I feel like If we would have won this game, this would have been, well, actually, I do have a moment. This is my moment for right now. 2020, Los Angeles Coliseum. The last game played in the Oakland Coliseum.
Can we watch it while you're describing it?
Sure.
Where can I find it? Because I'll pull it up.
Jags Raiders last game in the Coliseum. The last 2 minutes were down by 2 scores. I scored 2 touchdowns in the last 2 minutes to win the game. I scored the last 2 touchdowns in the Oakland Coliseum ever.
Oh wow!
I think I remember that.
Yeah,
that is dope.
Well, he's looking, Chris. Who are some of the guys in the NFL that are kind of leading the charge off the field? You've mentioned how, I think a lot of people have said, players aren't treated well in the NFL. I think people underestimate just like how short a careers the average NFL player has and all the, kind of strain on your guys' body. Who are some of the guys that are leading, like, hey, be smart, invest in yourself off the field? Like, who are some of the leaders in the NFL in that regard?
I think today there are guys like that on every team. Because I think the farther back you go, some guys realize they didn't have that vet in their locker room when they got in the league, and they don't want to see guys mess up like them. The average career in the NFL is about 3 years, 3.5. And then if you look how contracts are structured in the NFL, you get pocket change. You really get pocket change before your this is something else. This is not that game, but
I know. I'm searching through clips here. Andy's helping me out.
I think the one that I just sent is the second of the 2.
There it is. But it's an average of 3 years, and if you look at how contracts are structured, you don't really get an opportunity to get paid until your 4th year. After your 4th year, and so really, all the cards are stacked against you going into the NFL. And guys notice that, and they really want other guys to succeed more than they did. And so teaching guys not only how to save your money, what to invest in, but to take care of your body, not when something starts hurting, but start preemptively taking care of your body, because the longer you can play, the more opportunity you have to make some money and really change the communities that we come from.
Is this it, Chris? Here, Jaguars take the lead with just 31 seconds left in the Raiders' last home game.
Yeah, this is it.
On the contract stuff too, Chris. One thing that I find so frustrating, unlike the NBA, where guys where they can actually cash in, a lot of GMs and front office people are saying, "Oh, we don't want to pay someone because now this contract isn't like their non-prime of their career." So
yeah, there's multiple reasons that they'll find not to pay you, and the big one is the 3-0. Teams will find any reason not to pay someone who's approaching 30 years old or over 30 years old. Injuries. Part of the thing that teams told me is they said, "Hey, Chris, we don't think you can run." I tore my Achilles in my 3rd season. Right when you're setting your 3rd season sets you up for free agency, even though it's after your 4th. And I tore my Achilles, and every team told me, "Hey, man, we don't think you can run." Jacksonville was like, "Hey, we'll give you a shot." And I proved to everyone that I could still run, and really you got to bet on yourself in this game. You got to bet on yourself. And when advice could tell you to fold, when advice could tell you to take the safer route, maybe a deal that is maybe longer term, but would lock you in at a lower rate. Maybe you bet on yourself and you take the 1 year because you say, "Hey, I still got it. I know I can play and I believe in myself."
Yeah, my guy, Fred Van Vliet, I have a bomber jacket of his, and it says on the back, "Bet on yourself," and the S is a $sign. So that's something I hold very close to the back of my actual back. And Lundar here wanted to let you know, he sent you a moment of Malik Beasley from Georgia, and the serial ends in 31, Chris's University of Georgia number. Think of that thoughtfulness there.
It's lit. Love it. Thank
you got
you
a nice
so
little Heat collection going on now. I was looking at your account. You got a Kendrick Nunn, Jimmy Butler. You got a Precious
It doesn't
Achua.
even sound like Chris.
That's what I said. The rookie. I sent the rookie. Series 2. There's Series 1 moments, which I think the majority of us are the most bullish on. But specifically for Series 2, you can find the rookies, and they're going to get rookie badges. And I think long term, those will actually do quite well from an investment perspective. So like LaMelo Ball, Tyrese Halliburton, who's really blown up in the league and has been a big supporter of Top Shot, his moments have gone way up. So the rookies from this year, I think, are some of the better investments for the series too.
Yeah, that's something I was touching on towards the end of my little investment commentary, that rookies are the kind of high risk, high reward way to play Top Shot. And Overzet brought up an interesting question in that group chat we're in about whether it's better to invest in a Steph Curry or a Ja Morant from Series 1. And it's an interesting question. Obviously, Steph Curry's a better player, and in 95% of worlds, he will end up being a better player. There's an off chance Ja can catch up, but a very off chance, I'd say. But if Ja does surpass him as a player, even get close to him, his rookie year moment is likely more valuable than Steph. So it's an interesting debate, and one that's played out in the physical card world for the last, I don't know, obviously since the collectible world started.
Show Ja's moment too. I mean, this is like arguably I think it might be the best moment on the whole platform.
Are we pumping your bags?
Pump the bags. Yeah.
We're pumping my bags. Yeah.
The LeBron Kobe tribute dunk, I think, is probably my favorite overall moment. But this Ja moment, I mean, you talk about bunnies, Chris. I mean, Ja Morant.
I love talking about bunnies. We can go on about bunnies all day.
He's got those in spades. Can you pull it up?
Yeah. I'm working on it. Here we go. Ja Morant, Cosmic, Series 1. I think Pete might like this moment. Here we go.
Oh, that's definitely like a very normal person price for that.
Yeah,
it's cheap.
Jack and his buddies have a few of those.
I just have like 3.
Going that direction and just dunking all over Baines, just so ridiculous.
Yeah, very, very nice moment. One of the other hot topics in the chat tonight has been Andy's shirt. Jeff Jones says, "Yo, Andy, what kind of crazy ass shirt you be wearing? G, what do you got? Can we get the full screen? Hang on, let me get the. Here we go.
I have to like stand up so you guys can see it. It's a brand called Online Ceramics. So basically, I wore a Para shirt last week, and one person on Twitter complimented me on my clothing choice, and so then I feel like a moral imperative to continue to wear nice clothes while I'm in the club, and I don't have that much nice clothes.
Nice clothes. Try finding ridiculous hats around the house.
Well, yeah, you chose a really weird lane, Jack. That's not my problem.
Jack got caught in a game of costume one-upsmanship with himself. It's a dangerous game to play, Jack.
This is pretty much it. This is the end. But my favorite part is, like, we were on before with Chris before it started. He didn't make a comment. Like, he didn't blink at it. And no guests ever do. I've been in an elf costume. I've been in so many ridiculous things, and the guests just go with the flow.
Look,
that's the club.
Look, I'm meeting you today, and if this is a part of who you are,
it's
okay
not.
with that.
That's the scary
I'm okay
part.
with that. That's okay. You know, I have fedoras. I have my hats. You know, I got the good old future. You know, the slave master. I got all of it. And if I would have known, I would have worn it.
Chris,
I'm feeling slightly
I wish we
underdressed.
would have let you know.
Chris, is there a bit of, speaking of one-upsmanship, I've seen, did you overlap with Mecole Hardman in KC?
I did not.
Okay.
I did not.
His fits coming into the stadium are out of control.
A little fire. They're a little fire. But I mean, you have to take everything that he does with a grain of salt, because he has one of the guys at the top of his game right now when it comes to fits on the same team. He's got Travis Kelce.
Ooh.
It's hard. It is hard to beat Travis Kelce in the swag game. He's got it on lock. He's got all the designers before the designers even knew what they was designing. So, I'm a fan of it, but at the same time, I got to take it with a grain of salt.
For sure. What is your favorite kind of game day attire to roll up to the stadium in?
Oh man, let me tell you, my favorite or my best. There's two different things. I'll go over my best.
Let's do it.
My best, I would get a fedora, maybe had like a fedora, Louis V hoodie, some skinny jeans, black, with some black boots, either cowboy boots or something like that. A little swaggy. I would wear my glasses. I used to wear glasses, much like yours, Peter. And so I would have my glasses on and my shades, and I would walk into the stadium, and they'd be taking photos, and they'd be like, "Oh man, he's about to have a damn good game." But my favorite has to be from this last year. COVID, not having fans at stadiums, I would roll up in some sweatpants, straight up sweatpants with some headphones on and freaking slides. Just walk into the stadium. No one's taking pictures of me. It was great. Love it. Walking around like I was at my house.
I've been trying to find some of these fits on Twitter. I couldn't find any of the ones you described, but you want to tell us about this fit?
Yeah. So when I moved to Jacksonville, I actually learned how to surf in my first year there. And I surfed probably twice a week during the season. In the off season, I probably surfed 5 times a week.
Wow.
So I surfed a lot. I surfed a ton. And that is me on my way to the beach with my lovely longboard and my chiseled abs.
I was gonna say, did you ever do any shortboard? Or you stick in those longboard streets?
I did towards probably about 8 months in. I moved to a shorter board. I had a longboard, then I moved to a fun shape, and then I moved to a short board towards the end of the year, kind of hurricane season, a little bit of that.
I went to school in San Diego, and I had grand aspirations to become a surfer. And I got yelled at by so many locals for being a donkey out there that I was just scarred for life. All of my beginner moments were some like 45-year-old San Diego surfing veteran yelling at me for snaking their wave, which I didn't mean to do. And so I was scarred. So I wish I could have had kind of the more tranquil, Florida surfing experience that you did.
There are spots exactly like you described where people would yell at me, but you know what? I wasn't for that. So I would go and take lesser waves just so that I wouldn't get yelled at. And I would go surf there. And then finally, when guys were like, hey, man, you're good enough to go to the pier, I didn't listen to them. And then they told me about 5 more times, and I finally went, and it was okay.
There you go, man. I need to pull something up on the screen. The people here, when you mentioned Fedora, the CryptoPunk guys on this show started furiously Googling. They said, we must get Chris Conley a CryptoPunk wearing a fedora. So let me pull up what they've come up with here.
Oh,
it looks like you got some options.
Me one? Oh, thank you. Thank you. Oh my gosh, your guys' chat is just so nice. They're too nice. They're too nice.
Let's give Chris a CryptoPunk alien fedora. I think that would just be nice of all of us.
Man, you guys just wow.
Look at that. CryptoPunks guys, talk them through the fedora strat here.
Well, show them the ape CryptoPunk.
What's that?
The ape CryptoPunk with a fedora. Look at it. It sold. Yeah.
2.28
it sold very
mil.
Recently for
1.2 million. Right
1.2 million. Yeah, 11 days ago. So.
I mean, Chris plays in the NFL. That's pimp
normal
money.
People money, right? Right.
Hey, currently could be yours for the price of 1 season's salary.
For real. Go out there and work for 8 months and get a digital fedora.
I can tell you right now, the warden would not be happy.
Oh no, the warden would have. Yeah, that's not happening. Sorry.
I did a good warden thing today. A pro tip. A pro tip: if you're gonna get a CryptoPunk and you're worried about the warden's feedback, get a CryptoPunk that sort of looks like the warden. And so,
so the alien.
Hey, you are gonna get thrown in solitary confinement with jokes like that.
I'm gonna start whispering. If I hear steps on my stairs, don't. If I mute, just don't. Don't. If the screen goes black, I might die.
There you go.
Okay. It's okay.
There you go.
Let's give Chris some more NFT options. We've talked Top Shot. We've talked CryptoPunks. Hashmax.
Super rare.
Yeah, super. I was thinking Pete's favorite, super rare.
Yeah.
Right,
So I think Chris, really cool.
Chris, you mentioned you looked at some artists already. Are there any whose names you know? Because Pete, I'm sure he was about to say he's picked up a really nice piece earlier and can direct you to some of the higher end artists.
Well, and more, just real quick, I just wanted to get your perspective on this, Chris. I think the coolest thing about what's happening in digital art, and we're seeing a lot of great creations, and there's actually some athletes out there that are creating stuff, which is really cool, but it takes out all the middlemen. The art game right now, if you're wanting to buy like fine art, there's so many middlemen. So the artist ends up getting squeezed. There's not that direct connection with the artist and the collector. And in digital art, like the piece I bought, I've become really close with the artist. And like, I bought it for my daughter. he does all his stuff for his daughter, and like we've become really close, which is great. And like no one else is getting money other than the artist, which I think is really cool. And I hope that happens, with all entertainers. I think it's going to be great for music, and we're seeing how great this can be for athletes. But long term, like you mentioned, I think it'd be awesome if like the players specifically were getting paid on their moments selling and stuff like that. So I don't know. What are your thoughts? I know you mentioned
I think that's super interesting. With the number of guys that I know who are creators. I know I've played with a number of guys in college and in the NFL who are amazing artists. Some of them digital artists who work in 3D and CG. One of them actually was training with artists at Disney because that's what he wanted to do when he retired. Another one was a 2D artist and an animator. I've played with doctors, with musicians, with writers. I'm a writer myself. And I want to go into film when all of this is done. And there's just so many different types of creators. And I think that would be really cool to not only see the brand that they present when they have a helmet on, but the brand that they present when they're just creating, when they're completely being themselves.
Chris,
Yeah,
someone
totally
tweeted about a Star Wars project you did at college. Do you want to tell us a little bit about that? And I don't know if it's possible to bring up a clip of it or anything like that.
Yeah. So when I was in college, I toward the end of my college career, I was in college for broadcast journalism because speaking was something that someone told me I was good at it. And I don't know if they were right or not, but it's something that I had been comfortable doing ever since I was young. And so I initially went into broadcast journalism, and then I went into print. And when I started working on my writing more in print, that's when I wanted to write stories and really fiction. I'm a big sci-fi guy. I grew up on comic books and video games. And so, I had a big box of a bunch of comics, and I wanted to create stories like the stories that I had grown up with. And so I started writing more. And then I remember watching YouTube one day and seeing all of these short films and being like, man, I could do that. I could do better than that. And then I was like, you know what? I'm going to do it. And so the first thing that I shot was a 30-minute Star Wars short film. Absolutely terrible. Had a blast doing it. Learned a lot. And then from there, I just kept writing. I kept creating. And then after a while, someone kind of noticed and was like, hey, you might have something here. And then I had a couple people who were in the industry kind of take me under their wing and start looking at my work more critically and telling me the things I needed to learn. And I started taking set visits and really shadowing on the job. But I hope to do that one day and create, stories that let us get away and go into different worlds and that people can really connect with.
That's
so
awesome, man.
cool.
Do you have any other projects now that any screenplays or ideas that you kind of got in the hopper?
Right now, I'm actually working kind of on a documentary. There were a lot of things that took place in 2020 and a lot of things that took place in sports, specifically football, with the country, and just kind of chronicling all of that and why it's so important to players. I think that the more I've had conversations with people, the more I've recognized a disconnect between some people and how important they think the topics that were being talked about were and how important the players really thought it was, and really giving players an opportunity to express where they come from and their personal connection to these topics and why they're important to them, really humanizing and taking off the helmet to the conversation and providing a space for people to conversate. And so we've been working on a documentary about that, but also continuing to write some projects that are, more my speed in the sci-fi space.
What's your favorite part of, kind of working on film and stuff? Is it the writing? Is it the production? Seeing, people enjoy it? What do you like about the process?
My favorite part is definitely the, on set. I've had the opportunity to shadow on some major films. I've shadowed on some Marvel films. I've been able to shadow on some TV productions and been graced to, help and shadow the director. I've had personally some of my sets. I've had sets where the crew was 60 people and professional crews, and really just being on set with a lot of people and collaborating and problem solving. As a director, that's really one of your largest jobs is to problem solve and find a way to tell the story, because things come up all the time. And really that space, that collaborative space, working with people, is kind of the space where I feel most at home.
That's awesome, man. And you know what? Like, I'm going to put, because I can already tell everyone in the chat, they want to consume Chris Conley content, more of it. I'm putting your Twitch channel in here. Can you let people know if they want to kind of check in on the things you're doing? Obviously your Twitter, but let people know what kind of content you're making these days.
Yeah. I stream on Twitch every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. My community is quaint, but they're good people. They have my kind of humor, and we definitely we hang out, and it's a lot of engagement. I do play games, but as you can tell, I like to talk, and so I love when people come in and tell me how their day was, tell me what's going on with them, and so we can engage. Because that's where I get those most of the the worlds that I build are from people. And so I enjoy engaging with people, and really that's what life is all about. So Monday, Wednesday, Friday, I play shooters. I play Call of Duty, Apex Legends, play some strategy games, some Total War, Warhammer, some League of Legends, and that's what it do.
I love it. I mean,
character in League of Legends.
I would say too, what? I mean, you don't even need to play games. You could just turn on the mic, turn on the cameras, and we would all, with rapt attention, listen to you talk for an hour. I promise you that.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Thank you.
Who's your go-to League of Legends character to play as?
I am a dirty Diana main. That is me. I'm a Diana main, and I will play Diana wherever I can, whether that's mid lane, top lane, jungle, ADC, AFK, all of it.
Wow. Back in the day, I would play a lot of Swain, but I'm a retired League of Legends player. Now I just play teamfight tactics.
It gets toxic, and every once in a while, you got to take a step back.
Oh man, Chris, you're hitting all my buzzwords. Back from my League of Legends, the toxicity and the discords. My God, Chris, you're too cool. People are saying you're too good for the club. They're definitely right, and so we definitely appreciate you hanging out with us and slumming it in the club tonight.
Oh man, I'm glad to be here. Friends is a good thing. It's a good thing to have, especially when you don't have any.
So there's still a few things we need to do tonight. Does anyone have a pack that we can open? Because I feel like we got to go to the club and rip a pack with Chris here.
Of course.
Ripping a pack. Wow. That just brings so many images. Obviously it's not going to be what just popped in my head, but I was just like, wow.
Hey God, I want to know what you think ripping a pack is. What do you think ripping a pack is? I want to know.
Oh, I don't know. It's Club Top Shot and you're ripping a pack. I was like, what is this? Do I have a drug test tomorrow? What is going on?
Yeah, no, just meet me in the bathroom, and we'll be right back. And after these messages, no, we're not. We're gonna open a Top Shot pack. Chris, get your mind out of the gutter.
Of course. Yeah. That's all we were doing, babe. Just opening Top Shot pack.
Jack, you gonna share your screen with me? Yeah, all right, I'll let you do that because, guys, I think it's time to rip a pack. Yo, what up? It's DJ Pete Overzat. Welcome to the club. We didn't think things were going to get popping tonight, but it's about to get lit. Behind door number 2, it's a 3-pointer. 1325, Kevin Durant.
Let's go.
We're going to get a LaMelo. We're going to get a Luka. We're going to get a LeBron. Click the reveal. Let's go. God damn it. I don't need another layup. To the window. To the wall. The De'Aaron Fox stripped down my ball. 293 assists. Everybody get their drinks. Let's get a cheers tonight before we open up these nice packs. Cheers, ladies and gentlemen.
Oh. I didn't know.
We can cheers again.
Yeah, is the warden letting you drink tonight, Chris?
Here.
The classic vodka and the water bottle move. I remember.
He's doing Kool-Aid, man. He's on his game. He's ready for a great season, right, Chris? You're priming for your best season of your career.
You don't get mad bunnies drinking this stuff. I'll tell you that much.
You'd be surprised.
All right. Jack, tell us what goodie bag we're gonna open tonight.
I mean, we only really opened these guys. We've only done that once for a special occasion, but Chris's performance tonight definitely warrants that. Or these release threes. I think these had a lot of rookies, good rookies in them potentially. Could be wrong on that. Up to the club. What's the club want to see? Chris.
Yeah, it's Chris's call.
I want to see it.
Do you
I
have
think that means a season tip-off.
I don't know, but I feel like the release three might have LaMelos and Halliburtons. I could be wrong.
That's a good point.
the people want release 3? It seems like.
Yeah, release 3 is a good one. We can open a couple.
All right, let's up the ante. Let me give away something if we hit a LaMelo.
Ooh.
What should I give away? I have no idea.
One of your T-shirts or your PSA 7 Charizard?
No one wants my no one's touching my physical NFTs.
I mean, what kind of giveaway? So, Chris, we when we first started doing this show, this was before Top Shot fully exploded, and Andy said if we ever get an NBA player on the show, he'll give away a Joel Embiid MGLE from the Series 1, one of the initial series. I don't think Andy thought it would happen so quickly or that Top Shot would blow up so quickly, but we had Damian Lee on. That moment ended up being, what was it, like an $18,000 giveaway that you did?
I've stopped looking at what it's worth. I don't want to know, but it was north of 15,000 when I gave it away.
So you just got to be careful, Andy, because you get caught up in the moment on the show. Next thing
I just like having a good time.
You guys are so generous here, man. I need to hang out with y'all more often.
That's great, man. I will say this right now, Chris. You literally have an open invitation. Anytime we are going, you want to hop on, I'll hand you that link.
I got to make sure I grow my collection before I come back. So I don't want to come in here with you guys talking about your portfolios and me have nothing.
No way, man. You got 2 BAMs. You got an Ish Smith. You're in the mix.
There we go.
All right, so I'll do in honor of the Miami Heat fan, I'll do one of the more underrated players in the league, Series 1 Goran Dragic.
Okay. All right.
If Jack pulls a LaMelo.
If Jack pulls a LaMelo,
we'll find a way to give away a Goran Dragic.
Well, we can add it to I already pulled the things for the Cool Cat giveaway. So we'll add you. It ended up being 441 names. We will do that in a little bit, but I think we are going to open some packs here now. Jack, did you do the music, Jack?
Yes, of course.
Okay. All right. It's Chris's first pack opening experience.
I'm sweating.
That's what we call it.
Yo, yo, yo. We're in the club. It's Base Set, Series 2, Release 3. We got Chris Conley, the VIP, in the house with the dulcet tones. Chris, I'm going to need you to tell me what you're seeing here because my voice is not good enough for this job anymore.
Oh, look at that cereal. That goes
I
straight to Jennings.
A Malcolm Brogdon. Oh, nice dunk.
I've been so cucked out of my job.
And Chris, so I don't know how much you know about serial numbers. So 388 is really high, and that's well revered in the Top Shot community. The better.
I'll buy that off you, Jack.
I knew you would.
88's my number, and Malcolm Brogdon's my dude.
We'll talk.
Okay.
Here we go. Behind door number 2.
Ooh.
A Dennis Schroeder. Serial number 1661.
Hey, Chris, do you see that umlaut? I love a good German umlaut when I'm ripping packs.
Oh, yes. Yeah, that.
All right, come on, LaMelo. Let's see what we can get.
Ooh.
Okay. Look at those cereals.
MIP.
I mean, LaMelo Ball. I'm speaking it into existence, okay? LaMelo.
I hate to say it, Chris, but there are no more moments in this pack. But I don't know if you saw, Chris, but you do have a Jeremy Grant in your collection now. So that should have gotten you very excited. I can't believe I know your collection better than you do, Chris.
I'm sorry. I'm paying attention to the conversation, not looking at my Top Shots account.
He's living in the moment, Peter.
There we go, Andy. All right. Pretty nice. Pretty nice there. Anyone else want to open a pack?
I can open a Series 1 base pack.
Ooh,
Are you
okay.
you have to call your accountant first?
It's not leaving my account. It's a closed box. Talk to Whale Shark. This
All
is
right, let's
becoming
rip
the
it.
same deal.
Pete
That's a
or Mike mutes himself to get on the phone with his accountant. So, Chris Conley's in the club, man. It'd be really fun if we could open a pack. Do you mind if we release this one from the vault?
I have some horrifying messages coming through a group chat that Jack and Jennings and I are in with a few others about what this guy's accountant just told him. So being very careful here.
Oh, glad to see I didn't make it into that group chat. That makes me feel great.
Yeah, me too. Me too.
I don't think I'm in the group chat. I don't know. I don't see anything.
There's it's a Russian nesting doll of group chats around here, and it's just like who's getting cut out where.
Oh, the baby's back for the pack opening.
All right. Oh, we have Gracie.
Look at that. The
She
ultimate
hasn't opened the
pack
pack
rip.
yet, but she wants to party. She's ready to rock and roll.
Well, let's let Gracie have some attention before we go to the packs. How's Gracie doing?
She's so good. A week old today.
Oh.
So, Chris, I got to let you know because you're a streamer. We did a show the night when Peter and his wife were in the hospital, and Pete hopped on to hit the club and talk Top Shot. What do you think the warden would do if he tried to hit the club while she was giving birth?
Pete sounds like a madman living on the edge. And I respect that, Pete. I don't know if I would do that myself, but you, sir, love danger. You woke up and chose death, and you're alive.
It's so
I don't
true.
know you that well, but I want to.
Actually, my wife is the cool one. She encouraged me to go to the club. Although she just gave me the death stare right now, so I might be in a smidge of trouble. But she encouraged me. She's in the middle of the labor process. It's taking some time, and we knew it was going to be a little bit longer.
In the middle of labor. Jeez.
She said, jump into the club. And I said, yeah, perfect.
Wow.
Gracie's the true VIP. She's been in early. Hopefully no one ever breaks the record for youngest person in the Top Shot Club. That's her moment.
That's a record I have zero aspirations to break. She could have that one. All right. How are we doing on the screen share? Is your accountant green it over there?
Yeah,
I don't see it.
Captain's working.
There it is.
See?
Here we go. Did you get the
All
item?
right. Yeah, I did, of course.
Just scroll through your account a little bit. Let's go through. Let's take it. Let's all be Mike for a second with the $20
Show
million.
me the money.
And just like roll through it. There's not that much exciting at the top.
Sort by like legendary. Sort by like your premium moments here.
Is this fun?
So Chris, I'll
Do
give
we
you a
want
little bit of color as to Mike's investing strategy. So there was one particular pack from Series 1 that's called Cosmic, and so the whole thing was for the early adopters. It came out very early on. There's only 49 of each moment, and there's never going to be another Cosmic pack, as to what they've said so far. And Mike is what you might call a cosmic whale. He has invested heavily in the Cosmic pack. So he has a lot of really high value legendary moments, which is, as of right now, the rarest tier of moments on the site.
I see.
Do we want it? Fine, I'll roll a little bit.
Your favorite moment. Go to one of your favorite moments.
It's beautiful.
All right, I'll go to a Vince Carter Cosmic here.
This is the one. I love it.
Yeah, so this is a really cool play. I think we've talked about it before on the show, but Chris, for your benefit, this was the last shot of Vince Carter's career, and it was at the end of overtime of a game where I think at halftime of this game, or at least that evening, the NBA announced that they were suspending the season because of COVID, and the Hawks were not in playoff position at the time, so they were not going to be in the bubble. Overzet, just in case we get any Hawks players, you should keep that in mind. So they were not going to be in the bubble. So the fans realized at some point in the overtime that this was Vince Carter's last game of his career in all likelihood. And so it was getting to the end of the overtime period, and the fans all started chanting for Vince Carter to come back into the game. And as you can see here, the Knicks sort of stepped off and let Vince take a shot here. And so that was kind of just before the end of the game. He took a three-pointer, made the three-pointer, and that's the last play of his entire career. And so it's obviously Vince Carter's a big fan favorite. His career spanned 4 decades. He's got some of the best highlights in NBA history, and this is a fascinating point in NBA history, a historic moment. And so it's one of my favorite actual plays in the Top Shot set right now.
What do you think of that moment, Chris?
I think it's a beautiful moment.
Yeah.
Like, that's a beautiful moment. And not only, I mean, you combine the kind of respect play where guys step back and let you take that shot with it being his last play in his career. And everybody has their own Vince Carter memories, you know. That's magic. That's magic right there in an NFT. And very, very wise of you to nab that. Very wise.
And I think if moment, if it wasn't locked into the NBL vault, he'd probably just send it to you. So just kind of running bad on your end, man.
Man,
are we good at this? Do we want to see more?
Yeah, let's do it.
Let's do it.
Let's do it. Pack.
This is what happens, Chris. So these guys are sharps. Like when I get a pack, I rip it the second I get it. I have no willpower, no delaying of gratification. These guys, though, they sit on them. They're smart. But what happens is they get in the club and they're having too much fun and they get caught up in the emotions. And even though they have the willpower throughout the rest of the day, when they get in here, they're like, all right, fine, I'll open one of these. That's what happens.
I'm also trying not to get wet blanket. Also, if I'm not giving away moments like everyone else, the least I can do is bring some fun with pack openings here. All right, so this is a Series 1 base set. And at the time, this was, I think, a $9 pack, although just given the appreciation of moments, there could be some pretty valuable cards in here, or moments in here before the chat jumps on me. All right, so let's do it.
Let's do it. All right, Chris, I'm going to need your narration again as we enter the club. Top Shot tips. Always send your moments to an NFL player when he joins a Top Shot stream. It's our #1 tip. We've got
fun. Did not realize they were 5 in here. That's fine. All right.
Wow.
All right, Chris. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We're starting.
Hey, man, we just saw a generational 3-pointer, so we got to go with 3.
3 it is.
Oh my God.
Oh, there we go. Villanova great. The big ragu. The Michael Jordan of Delaware. Dante DiVincenzo. National champion.
Andy, it seemed like you have been waiting your whole life to deliver that play-by-play.
Dante DiVincenzo has the best nicknames of any college basketball player ever. The big ragu and the Michael Jordan of Delaware. Like, the most absurd nicknames.
Big ragu's fantastic. Chris, 1, 2, 4, or 5?
5.
5 it is.
Ooh,
all right. Oh, very close to the last minute. Very close to the last minute. All right, where are we going? 1, 2, or 4?
All right, just go in order now. 1 to 4.
Behind door number 1, common. 3, 1, 2, 3. My guy, always bet on yourself. Let's go.
Oh, I love this moment.
Markel Fultz.
We LeBron to salvage this pack. I think this is we've seen better packs than this in the club.
Well, just think this is increasing the EV
all right, here we go.
All your unopened packs.
Hang on 1 second. 1 second, Mike. I think your screen was freezing for a sec. I think we might be good now. All right, let it rip.
All right.
Next.
Oh, and watch him rip the ball from LeBron here. It's fantastic.
Sorry, we're getting a little lag on the stream. You're going to have to use imagination. Reggie Bullock steals the ball from King James. Goes the other direction for the slam.
Still.
Yeah, you're lagging.
Yeah, I'm not sure your computer can handle sharing your screen, Mike.
Mike invested and still has something.
I think your accountant is shutting us down.
yeah. His accountant was like, no, we can't be peacocking like this on the internet. Yeah. The chat.
That was a pretty crappy pack. Yeah.
Yeah, well, hopefully,
Eric is absolutely right.
Man. So was that your first time, Chris, seeing a pack opening experience?
Yeah, these packs, yeah, that was it. And I understand now. Now I understand. So the sensationalism comes when people see the money, but I see where the addiction comes with opening these packs. I understand how you guys got to this point, and I wish I wasn't on this earlier.
Hey, look, I mean, I assume once it updates, I was actually seeing if we could already see what your account value was here. So maybe we'll check that again in a little bit when it updates. But now that you've got, oh no, we are up. Hang on. So we can get this up. I'm going to pull up evaluate.market. They have already crawled your account. You're sitting on a $600 account, Chris.
No, there's no way that's right. That only is one moment.
Oh, that's one moment. They haven't fully updated yet.
Damn, who sent the BAM?
Jeez.
That was Andy, right?
Andy sent the $600 moment.
Yeah.
Jeez.
Well, if you come in the club, I'm gifting you a Series 1 moment, and they only get so cheap at this point.
My goal is to make Andy go broke by bringing professional athletes on the stream and forcing him to give.
It's gonna take a little.
That's absolutely wild. That's one moment.
One moment, dude.
Okay.
Chris, how much
ridiculous.
do you think the Vince Carter Cosmic we're looking at was?
I don't want to know. I don't want to. How much did you say you bought that pack for? Those packs when the early adopter pack for
They
that?
were $9.
$9.
No. Are you asking where the Cosmics came from?
Was
Or
the Vince an early adopter, or was that something different? That was a
So
Cosmic.
the Vince was in a Cosmic pack. The Cosmic pack predates my arrival, actually. The Cosmic was one of the first packs dropped. It was part of the first overall drop.
How much was that when it first?
I think
the
it was
Cosmic when it
$230.
first dropped.
230's right, yeah. It was $202, and it came with a Cosmic moment, and the cheapest of any Cosmic moment, I think, I don't know, it's what, $8,000 right now or something like that?
Something like that.
And
But
that's
at the time,
anyone.
Great idea.
it seemed pricey.
Let's play Laden Thinks on how much Chris thinks the cheapest Vince. Is there a Cosmic for sale right now? Vince Carter?
Yeah.
There is one for sale?
I don't know if that's accurate.
Let's do the
Let me look.
last. Let's do instead what the most recent Vince Carter sale was.
Okay.
I think that's
Okay.
more interesting.
Okay.
Pete, explain Latin things to Chris though.
Yeah, so Chris, this is one of our favorite games. So we're all going to bet on what you think the most recent sale is. So it's not what the actual answer is. Nothing matters other than what you think. So we're all trying to guess what you think. So write down or whatever you think the most recent sale price of that Vince Carter Cosmic was.
All right, give me a second. I don't actively have a pen here.
You can write on here. We trust you too. I mean, whatever.
I'll just put it on my phone.
I did find on Moment Ranks, I found a rough estimate of what Conman 3118's account's worth, and we're looking in the $1,300 range.
Look at that.
That's
Look at that.
ridiculous.
I just
Chris
wanna-
is like, I'm coming back every night.
That's kind of weird. No, it's just weird.
Yeah.
That you just come into the club. Normally when I go into the club, I leave with less money, okay? I come into the club tonight and I'm leaving with the bag. You know, it's just odd. Am I the dancer? Like, what is going on? I don't get it.
You know, I honestly, like, being very honest and transparent about it, I think people, it's really interesting to see athletes and celebrities come on this show and be interested in, like, actually sincerely thoughtful about something that we are all very passionate about. And, like, to me, that means a lot. And it's surprising every time it happens. It was the same thing with Damian Lee. I've had the like luck to be able to talk to a few other athletes who have been interested in this, and like it really does mean a lot when someone like you comes on and you have serious, thoughtful conversations with us about this stuff, and people really appreciate that.
Yeah, well, I appreciate the fact that you guys give me the chance to be human. Believe it or not, not in every space do athletes get the opportunity to just be normal. You know, there's sometimes where we show up to places or conversations and people, I guess, treat us sometimes like robots. And so it's refreshing when we get the opportunity to geek out over things just like a normal person would and don't get judged for it.
I do just kind of want to put it out for all future guests. We don't necessarily promise to gift you a $500 writer. We can get you green M&Ms if you enjoy sparkling water. But Chris is a very special case. So don't get used to it, I guess is what I'm trying to say. All right, what were we doing?
We're playing this game.
A lot of things.
Things.
So Chris, you can write it on your phone, whatever. What you think the most recent sale was?
So this isn't fair because I haven't done enough research to know like
So it makes
what
it-
the average is
Go
for
for it.
anything. So
better.
I'm just winging it.
That's perfect. That's what makes this more fun. Like if you really knew what it most recently sold for, we all kind of know, then it wouldn't be fun because we'd all be like in the same range. The fact that you don't know makes this way more fun. So we're trying to like put ourselves in your shoes and think like you think, and we all have similar information. Like we've all got to hang with you in the club, which has been great, but it's we're all in the same boat. So this is great.
Honestly, and I just looked because I was curious. I wouldn't have been close to this.
I think I know what the last sale was.
It's a weird. All right, it'll be interesting to see. All right,
If
are we
it's
ready?
weird, I think I got it.
Are we getting Chris's answer first or ours?
I think let's reveal ours.
Our answers first.
Yeah.
Me.
Pete,
Dude, come on. Have you played a lot of things before, Pete?
Relax, dude. This guy becomes a dad and turns into an asshole.
I'm scared.
Can you see mine?
17,500. Yeah.
Yep.
17,500 from Indiana Jones over there.
He is what
Crikey.
my thesis was. We've been talking about how much money's thrown around here. Chris, the eyes were getting big. I thought he'd go really high, so I said 225,000.
Did you not see his reaction to $600?
I said $6,331.
Okay.
Playing on the 31, or maybe he might have an 18 in his number.
4999. Okay.
So I kind of went the same style as Mr. Overzet, the host, and I went with 99999.
Okay.
What did you say, Chris?
I think Pete and I are gonna be closest.
I think I got to give it to Crocodile Dundee. I stream on Twitch, so I'm going 16969. Obviously.
I almost went with a 69 thing too.
Come on now.
And the first time that we don't bet on this is the one that I end up winning.
16,000.
How frustrating is it that the fucking honey get all this money now from us? I mean, unbelievable.
So the correct answer is what? 64?
Yeah,
1,000?
64,000.
Oh
Yeah.
my gosh.
Well, just about 65,000. It's 64,990.
Wow.
Worth it.
Yeah, bought by
It's a steal.
bought by
That's a
the
steal.
famous flamboyant Mangosteens. It's an account you'll see on there a lot buying stuff. No idea who it is, but
Yeah, who
quite
do
the
we
name.
think that is?
A normal guy spending $64,000 in a moment. Normal dude, just hanging with Jack at the bar.
There you go.
Jeez. That's absolutely wild.
So, Chris, one thing I will say is this platform is very addicting. Once you kind of cross the Rubicon on this stuff, you go down the rabbit hole. Do you envision yourself now that you've kind of tasted the forbidden Top Shot fruit of going down the rabbit hole?
I think that I could go down the rabbit hole if I was to, like, say I went and bought, I saw your guys' packs. Say I went and was like, hey, what? Well, I'll buy a rare pack. And I get a rare pack and it has like one moment in it that's like legit.
Yeah.
That could be a problem. If I go and I just say, hey, I'm just going to do it once and it has something legit in there, you might have a problem.
It happens, man. It happens. Do you watch a lot of NBA? Someone was asking in the chat.
I don't watch too much. I watch more once we get towards crunch time when games count more. But early on in the season, not too much.
Yeah.
You must have played a lot of basketball growing up. I mean, just given how high you can jump and everything else, your athleticism, like when did you decide like I'm going to strictly focus on football? And did you ever consider basketball another sport growing up?
Believe it or not, I did not start playing organized sports until I was in high school. Before that, I was just the long, clumsy kid. And when I was in high school, I played basketball, I ran track, and I played football. And toward my sophomore year of high school, it was very clear which one of those was going to be my best sport. I already had interest from major Division I colleges. And at that point, my mom was like, we're not. She was a college athlete, and she was like, we're not ruining your opportunity here by you playing another sport. I continued to play basketball and run track, but she kept a very close eye on everything it was that I did.
That's awesome.
Who would you guess in the league or that you're friends with would be as interested as you in the NFT space, in Top Shot, in Cryptopunks? Like who would be the teammate you get off this podcast from and be like, damn, this NFT stuff's crazy?
Teammate. I know someone who would be very interested in he would be interested in it from the moment side, the fan of basketball side. It's funny that you guys mentioned Tyreek. He's a big basketball fan. I could see Tyreek really getting into the moment side because he watches a ton of basketball. He thinks he could play basketball. He thinks he could play in the NBA. He's delusional. But I could really see him getting into it. And then once he learns, he learned kind of the upside for it, I think he'd kind of get hooked. Current teammate. Another basketball guy. Gardner Minshew's a huge basketball guy.
Yeah.
Even though he rocks a mullet, he's a big basketball guy.
I'm surprised by that one.
Shoots hoops. He's got a mean jumper. He's got a nasty jumper.
Would he ever gamble on shooting?
Here we go.
Me?
Here we go.
Oh, it's anybody, but Minshew. I mean,
would he gamble?
Yeah,
he would.
He
would. So part of Gardner Minshew is like part of the persona and the character, and the other part of it, that's him. Like that's real. He would take you up on that bet any day.
Oh, that sounds.
Pete,
perfect.
how good of a shooter are you?
No,
I don't understand.
Don't give him this platform. Don't give him this platform.
I'm serious.
Chris,
He would take your money.
No, oh God, here we go.
Yep.
This is oh God.
Love to see this happen.
I would love to see it happen too. I want to shoot versus like NBA guys and stuff. So whatever. Like I know my capabilities, and I know that these guys are better.
Chris low-key, I just saw this in the comments. Does Chris low-key hate everyone on the Jags? No, I don't. But when you're talking about conversations with this kind of money, you got to realize how young the Jags are. It's a bunch of 23-year-olds who just got out of college. I am not going to tell any of them to go sink their money on card packs right now. That's me being a bad vet. So if I'm not mentioning them for this, that's just me looking out for them.
What do you tell those guys though? Like at this point in time, like what is some good advice? Because I actually think that's like I went on a little rant today on Twitter, but like I think starting in the education system, there's not enough education on financial literacy. People don't understand how debt works. You mentioned it. Prior generations in athletics, they were really trying to keep up with people. They're spending all this money. Like, what do you tell a young rookie that's coming into the league? That's for a lot of people, that's their first time coming into money too. And it's obviously, it's not starting off. The contracts are smaller relative to veteran contracts.
Yeah, I feel like one of the big misconceptions when guys come out is that everyone comes with them. When you make it, everyone else makes it. There's a difference between mama and your mom and your dad making it and your cousins and your friends and everyone else making it. You don't make enough money to support everyone like that. There's very few people in that first part of the first round who really get a chunk of change when they come in. Once you drop down below that second round and you go down, you're really not getting that much of a signing bonus. And then after taxes, you're really not getting anything at all. Taxes, agent fees, moving, finding a place to live, renting, you're not buying at that point. And so really just telling people that, hey, like football is for the long game. Everything is set up for you to fail in the short term. So you have to just be patient and you really have to invest in you, the CEO as a player, your corporation as a player, because the more plays you make, the more opportunity you have to play. And if you stay healthy, then you start getting into the territory where you have some of the cash, where you can look to do this for fun or as an investment.
Yeah, that's great advice. It's cool to see. I mean, we've seen with NBA players, I think one of the big shifts is instead of just being treated as labor where, hey, we'll pay you to do these advertisements or whatever, we're seeing them say, hey, I want to be capital. If I'm going to invest my time, my brand, I want equity in these things. Are NFL players talking about that? I know there's obviously some big names like Tom Brady and like the quarterbacks and some of the high-end receivers. Julio Jones has done a great job building out a real estate portfolio in Atlanta. But are there guys saying, hey, if I want to do this stuff, like I want to figure out a way to get upside and set myself up after football?
Yeah, I've seen some guys do a great job. Everybody wants a Jacksonville name, Marquise Lee. Marquise has real estate not only in Florida, but he has some in LA. And he was fortunate enough. He had kind of an injury situation coming out of college, and he was able to collect his injury settlement from USC. And with that money, rather than going out and buying a bunch of cars or something like that, like a lot of guys would have done, he bought some real estate. And it was a really wise move for him. And not only does he have a place to go back and stay with his girl and his child now, but he has places that are bringing in income for him. And I think that he had some really good conversations with guys about how they could, get into that space, not necessarily the same way as him. He got a lump sum of cash because of an injury, but how they could start looking at the market and looking for places and really finding the temperament. Do you have the temperament to be a landlord? Because that's what you're going to be if you own these properties and you don't hire a management firm. But really just having conversations with guys about the long game. And the long game isn't the NFL. There's certain guys, the Patrick Mahomes gets the $500 million contract. That's the 0.00001%. 99%. I won't even go 99. I'll go 90% of the guys in this league got to find some source of income after they play, because that's how you set your family up for generational wealth. And the other 10%, blessings to them. They make the money in the league that their families can live off of. But 90% of the league has to figure it out outside of it.
And I imagine too, like the amount of people you guys have pitching you on things. Hey, Chris, put your money in this. Hey, I got this hot new opportunity. I got this new company. And now, we're kind of seeing all this blow up with NFT stuff. Like, how do you go about filtering and sifting through all these opportunities, some of which could be incredibly legit, but also maybe a lot of people being predatory and trying to, take aim on your NFL wealth?
Yeah, I think you find people that you can trust, and it's hard and it's different for everybody to find people that you trust. But it was easier for me when I was coming out of college because I was able to interview multiple, financial advisors and accountants and see their track record, not only see the history of their company, but also I wanted to make sure that I was talking to somebody who has worked with someone from a situation like mine, not just, there's varying levels of portfolios, right? And then also everyone comes from different backgrounds. Football players have a different, background as most hedge fund babies. We're just different, and the way that you manage that money and our family situations and what's important to us is important. But also being able to interview them, seeing their track record, what other players that they've had, players whose careers have gone beautifully, players whose careers have gone poorly, and the worst has happened. How did you help them manage that? Where are they right now? The guys whose careers got cut short and they didn't get paid. And really, once I was able to see that track record of those companies and get to know those guys, then always make sure everything goes through you. Don't just hand somebody the keys to the car of your accounts. But once we got to the point where I knew these guys and I knew what strategies that they were taking, that's when I started to get to the point where I was more comfortable taking some more risks and moving my money into different portfolios. But always be involved. Always be involved with your money. Don't just hand it off to some guy and you don't know what he's doing. Keep an eye on that stuff. And, you got to put someone in a position to mess up and make sure that they don't do it. That's how you build trust.
Yeah, I mean, I wish I would have taken that advice. I gave someone 5.5 ETH and I ended up with a sliver of a Cryptopunk. So it's a cautionary tale. You got to be careful out there with your money. Real quick, one thing I want to make sure, we're going to do the giveaway in a second. Again, just massive shout out to Chris for hanging with us tonight. Chris, first of all, are we keeping you from the warden? Because you can peace out whenever. We tend to ramble and go on long here.
I think the warden's asleep. The warden's asleep right now. And believe it or not, tomorrow morning I have a massage, not a lift. So I'm good to go right now.
Awesome.
Wow.
Well, we'll keep rolling here. We'll do the giveaway in a sec, but I do want to talk about Jack's big day on Friday. Jack, tell people what's going on. $100,000 on the line. Set the table for us.
Yeah, so I don't know what I did to deserve this, but I got invited to House of Highlights Showdown Knockout Tournament. It is on Friday in Atlanta, so I'm flying down on, what's today? Tuesday, on Thursday. It's me and 7 other competitors. We all get 3 lives. It's a game of knockout. The last 3 people remaining will move back to the 3-point line, but it's as simple as that. And first place wins $100,000. So that is a lot of money to me, even though some of my comments tonight may have made it seem otherwise. That would be the most money I've ever seen.
People money.
Yeah, exactly. So I was actually at the gym earlier tonight before I hopped on here, and we were going through strategies. But I know based off the intelligence on this little call that we can work through some more strategies. We can test some opportunities and different ideas. It is Friday night, 8 p.m. on House of Highlights YouTube channel. So if you guys want to watch, I assume you guys will be you'll be locked in to see if I bring it home. But what do you guys? I'll give you my first strategy, and then we can kind of work backwards from there. So bumping is allowed, like a normal game of knockout. The one strategy I discovered tonight that I feel pretty confident in, but I want to test through everyone. If you're first and in the 3-pointer, I think the most optimal strategy is to just throw it off the backboard and wait and hope the person misses and bump their ball. So if it's just 2 people left, you throw it off the backboard, you have to hope they miss. But the intuition is like, what are the chances that I make a 3? I'm not a good shooter. Admittedly, I'm not a good shooter.
You were talking so much shit when we were talking about a 3-on-2 game.
Oh, I'm an incredible basketball player. Awful shooter. Awful shooter.
Look at Chris's face. He's just like,
I'm an incredible basketball player, but an awful shooter?
And by incredible, I mean...
What are you, Shaquille O'Neal?
I'm an extremely average basketball player, but...
He looks like a Shaquille to me.
Thank you, Chris. It's tough.
Yeah, little do you know, he's 7'2".
So you have to take into account the 3-pointer, the bounce off the 3. So another factor is once I take the 3, someone behind me can take a 3 immediately. So it's not like if I take the shot, I can get the rebound and put it up. I essentially have to wait for my shot to come down anyways. So I think I wait and you bounce the ball, you bump the ball very far. I was testing out tonight. It was the best strategy that was working because essentially if you miss the 3, you have either someone's going to make it right after you or it's going to bounce far away and you're screwed anyway. So what do you guys think about that strategy?
I wonder who else is in this competition. If the guy behind you is an everyday Jennings who's going to knock down 85% of his
let's not exaggerate over it.
You can't give away your shot then. So that's an important dynamic. Who else is playing here?
It's 7 other like YouTubers who are they're not that good at basketball. So that's the thing is like there's no people that are coming out and they're 80% from an open 3 in an open gym. So the idea is I'm just playing the odds there, and I think any percentage under 50% is kind of plus EV for me. I see a lot of people in the chat saying it's a dumb idea. I promise you get out there and you start bricking a couple 3s and the ball's bouncing all over the place, you're screwed. Like that's what I figured out tonight.
My question is also how bad are you achieving? Are you like 5%, 20%, 30%?
No,
what are we giving up by you missing your shot on purpose?
We need your percentages, dude.
Yeah.
In an open, so there's also other factors to take into account, right? If we're going full speed, if my heart is racing, yeah. Look at these. I mean, look at these.
Look
people.
at these guys.
They're not. There's no Steph Curry in this group, right?
How do I not get an invite to this?
And
this
Chris, if you see my shirt, Baltimore Ravens, we'll have to talk about your free agency later. But Yeah, so I don't think. I mean, I'm gonna see them shoot around on Thursday. So I like Sam Bennett, a little DeMar DeRozan in me in an open gym, wide open. I'd say I'm truthfully like 33% from three. Like I'm not a good 3-point shooter. I finish at the rim. I'm a really good passer, but shooting's not my jam.
Are any of those people larger bodies, as in like taller? Weightier, because if that's the case, I don't know if you want to play under the rim.
That's true.
With people like that.
No, that's true. There's one person who can dunk. So unlike the NFL wide receivers, our ratio is about 12%. Yeah, but there's no. I feel good about people. So Michael says 33% from three. You should be shooting all day. Do you guys agree with that? I mean, I'm coming here for advice.
No. If you can throw it off the backboard without any ramifications, we play bump out every day, and you have to have intent to make is our rule,
right?
Because throwing it off the backboard is GTO.
Have you seen any of those people shoot?
Yeah, a couple. I mean,
I feel like I've seen a couple of them shoot, and they're not good. But average can be good enough if you're just feeling it.
Yeah.
So you're going to have to feel them out that day.
Yeah. No, there's no doubt about that.
I think the biggest question is what the percentage is of the guy shooting behind you. Because let's just say he's a 40% shooter. That means 40% of the time you're dead in the water. Of the remaining 60% of the time, you need to win
60% of the time
to break even.
No, but 60% of the time I virtually win. That's my point.
I'm saying you need to win 5/6 of the remaining 60% of the time to just break even overall in the strategy.
No, but my point is if they miss and I'm just camped out there, I can bump the ball backwards 30 feet.
Yeah, but I mean, you don't automatically win if you do that, though.
No, I got to make a layup. I got to come back. I can throw it off the backboard again.
I would just say there's two people in that picture that I would not want behind me because I've seen them shoot. I've seen them shoot against other people. Now I don't know if it was scripted or if it was staged for their YouTube channel, but in the long takes that they had, I think the girl's name is Jenna.
Yeah, she's wet. She's very wet.
Let's rephrase that. I've seen. I mean, yeah, hey.
Hey, Jack, I know we're in the club, man, but
he's all the way in the club today.
She's a great shooter.
I've seen her shoot, and she's legit. She's smooth with it.
Yes,
not only is she smooth with it, if she misses, it's not going to be a long bounce.
Right. That would play to my advantage. That would play to my advantage. I actually get burned if someone bricks it back to themselves. And who's the other person that you've seen shoot before? Anyone?
I just think that like that strategy may work, but I've also seen that strategy fail. I think that there's going to be a time where you have to evaluate and say, hey, I might have to switch it up in this instance, and I just might have to bet on my shot.
Right. Bet on yourself.
The definitely need to bet on yourself. That I think you're overestimating is just because you throw it to yourself and then you're in the paint, they're coming at it and you have to bump it with the ball, right? You can't like hit it with your hand.
Right.
So the person coming at it with their arms has a huge advantage over you trying to bump just with your hands.
If they're chasing their shot. Yeah.
Your throw percentage is not that high. You should be optimizing for speed.
Okay.
One of the guys that in our group, he gets a big spot. He's like a 40% shooter, and that's basically his strategy. And he's always trying to make it. He's not just hucking it. So, but we also have the intent to make rule. So I don't know if
you have a soft shooter's role, like when you miss, is it soft or is it like
Chris, no one who shoots 33% in an open gym has a shooter's touch. I'm like brick or bust kind of thing. Although
what about going for a bank shot? What about working on like shooting like before you go, shooting some bank threes?
That's what I was wondering. I was trying that as well. I'm looking for any type of edge here. I mean, look, I can get hot. If you look on YouTube, the one video that exists, I beat Jamal Murray in a shooting competition. Okay, this I posted as a joke.
This is concerning.
Look at this.
You beat
That's
Jamal Murray in a shooting competition? No
Look
way.
at Chris's eyes.
So the backboard was glossy. I have a video. It's like 2 minutes long of me making it. But did you see what I quote tweeted? I thought it was a great quote tweet. The person wrote like, "Are influencers the future of sports?" So I had this little clip because it was one of those wet backboard things. So I thought it was hilarious. But yeah, if you look on YouTube, look up Jack Settleman, Jamal Murray. I didn't miss a shot that day, and I essentially beat him.
I think my YouTube's broken.
Wait, did you beat him or did you essentially beat him? I feel like those are two different phrases.
All right, no, there needs to be a clarification.
Chris's face is the best, by the way.
We tied, but he had a rebounder, and his last layup to tie it was after the buzzer. But they wanted to save face for the NBA player. Chris, you don't believe me? You don't think I beat Jamal?
Dude, no way. Jamal is like one of the best. He shoots like 90-something.
Yeah, didn't he make like 98 out of 100 shots in a gym or something?
What do you guys want me to tell you? It's on.
Jamal Murray would literally be, if I had someone I needed to make a free throw for me to save my life, I'd pick Jamal Murray. Literally.
Oh, no, it's Steph Curry.
Emmanuel.
No way.
Pete, that's a bad take.
Emmanuel.
What are you talking about?
We know
Curry's
he's the best free throw shooter in like the history of the NBA.
Dude, guys, do you guys not follow the NBA?
Emmanuel quickly.
I mean, I don't, but I mean, there's better shooters than Jamal Murray.
Not really from the free throw line. He's right up there. And
Steph Curry is literally the best free throw shooter in the history of the NBA.
I'm just saying, if you're going to wear a fedora, you better be coming in with those Indiana Jones quick shots. You better be on.
Pete,
come on now.
Upgrade me.
All right, I'm wrong.
Let's watch some tape. All right, let's watch.
Here we go.
If this video gets demonetized because of you shooting hoops in here,
first we played 2K. I actually lost him in 2K, but here we go. Let's watch some tape. There's
what was
the break.
challenge 1?
Challenge 1, I played him in a game of NBA 2K.
Oh, got it.
So I got the layups down. This is legitimately first take, best performance of my entire life. We got the reverse lay, and then we step back, we take the free throw, brick that.
Is this Sean Marion?
You would have lost right there.
But watch us get hot down the stretch. Now we're from deep, and we're wet. I mean, we're wet again.
Please stop.
We're so wet right now.
We're
Look
back with the wetness.
I mean, we can't miss. I'm screaming at.
These are deep fake technologies getting too good.
That shot is moist.
Jack, how many times have you watched this video?
I don't watch it that
every night before he goes to bed.
I don't watch it that often. I did keep reposting it when Jamal was going crazy in the bubble. So based off this film, this performance will never. I mean, it'll just never happen again.
Jack.
So what do you think? What based off the form, everything you've seen, everything I've told you, what do you think?
I say shoot.
Shoot it. All right.
I say shoot. Try for a soft roll and then sprint. Sprint. You can't miss your first layup though. That's how most people lose and knock out. They panic and miss their first layup.
All right.
Jack, we will all be rooting for you. So this is all going to be live streamed. I mean, there will be a clip show, a future Club Top Shot clip show from your House of Highlights knockout appearance. You know it's coming.
No, I know. There's a lot of pressure on me just via the club.
How many hours of practice are you going to get in before the competition?
So I was doing some cardio yesterday because I think that's key.
Shouldn't you be in the gym right now?
I was in the gym and I had to cut it short to see this freaking guy, Chris Conley. It was a little ridiculous.
Waste of time.
But yeah, I don't know. I might not be back in the gym till we're warming up on Thursday or Friday. So
what are you doing tomorrow?
I got some stuff to do, some work stuff. Yeah, they'll all be
some workshop. This guy posts 100 social media messages a day.
Yeah, I got a tweet.
This guy's got a tweet to the marketplace we go.
If anyone in the chat has helpful advice, just feel free. Slide in.
Another thing to think about, this if you win, this is going to be all over streams, all over YouTube. Do you want to win by chucking it off the backboard and making a layup after bumping a ball to win? Yeah, you want to win by swishing a three.
Right. So I don't give a fuck how I win.
Win.
Yeah, I will literally wear if an Indiana Jones hat helps me, I'll fucking do that. I'll do whatever to win the 100K. It's at that point, it's 100,000.
Sure.
So that's my feeling.
All right, here's what we're gonna do. We're gonna do this giveaway because I got the names. I'm gonna get these loaded up. We're gonna give away a cool cat. Again, shout out to Chris G, one of the club VIPs here. He just wanted to do an act of kindness, and then we're gonna get on our way. People have things to do. Jack clearly needs to get back into the gym, and that's what we're gonna do here.
Gardner Minshew is a shooter. I'm interested.
Gardner, he would get along well. The stash.
I would like to let the record show that I'm on Basketball Reference, and I'm just searching for Jamal Murray's name on the all-time free throw shooters, and he's not even showing up in the search.
Pete's going to pull up some fantasy lab trends. He's like, well, on the second night of a back-to-back in Colorado against teams wearing red jerseys, Jamal Murray actually shoots 95% from the free throw line. All right. This is what we're going to do. We got all the names in here. I believe it ended up being just over 400 names. So you guys have a decent chance at a cool
Jamal Murray is the top 10 free throw shooter and playoff percentage for free throws, top 10 all time.
What's the sample size?
Steph Curry over him, that was a bad take, but Jamal Murray's up there.
All right. We're going to spin this wheel. Here we go. Good luck to everyone. Good luck. Thank you to everyone for hanging out in the chat tonight. Who's going to win? Chris G is sending a cool cat to Salvi Shoots 89. Salvi Shoots 89. Congratulations. If you're in the chat, let us know. Chris will be sending a cool cat your way. Very, very nice.
Congratulations.
Chris G. And Andy's off the hook. We didn't pull a LaMelo Ball. We'll save that for
now.
time.
Yeah.
For next time. Chris, my man. So you said Monday, Wednesday, Fridays for streams. Does that mean you're streaming tomorrow?
I am.
What time is that at again?
I stream at about 5:30 to 6 o'clock Eastern time.
Very good. Very good. And when are we going to start seeing some Top Shot content on these streams?
I told you, I got to get something. I got to find something. When I open a pack and I find something, you guys will hear from me.
That's right, man. Well, like we said earlier, you have an open invite. Anytime the club's going up, if you're chilling, the warden's gone to bed, and you're like, hey, I want to come on here, shoot the shit, just shoot us a message. We'll get you on because, man, it was an absolute delight hanging out with you tonight.
Man, I appreciate it, guys. Thanks for having me.
For sure. Let me go around the horn here, make sure we get some final words. I'm going on a vacation on Thursday. I'm taking some time off. It might be a little bit until the next club, unless these guys want to throw something up, which they're more than welcome to do. But until then, Mike, MBL, final words.
Final words, Chris, you've been an absolute gentleman and a pleasure to listen to. You have a fantastic voice, and I hope for all of our benefits you end up in radio and podcasting and any sort of thing where we can hear more of your voice, commentary, whatever it takes. Thank you very much for gracing us with your presence, and as Pete said, we would have you back on anytime. If you would do me the honor, I'd love to have one Warzone game with you. I won't harass you, but one game. I would appreciate it. No, you don't have to answer on stream. But I would be honored to join you for a game and talk Top Shot and talk whatever else you want to talk.
You ain't said nothing but a thing.
There you go. Andy, final words.
Yeah, this was fun. It's nice to be back in the club. Chris, I do want to say I really appreciated all you had to say about art and writing and film and stuff. I think it's really cool and interesting to hear that other side of what interests you. And I want to reiterate, the NFT stuff is crazy and it's really cool, but people who are seriously thoughtful and think about the stuff can have serious successful careers doing this. And I'd love to encourage you to think about it and take it seriously, because I think that someone like you could really make a splash in this kind of stuff if you put your mind to it. And just like to reiterate that.
Appreciate it.
Yeah, for sure. And I'll reiterate again, Chris. I know both Andy, Mike, Pete, Jack, all of these guys are incredible resources here to help you out, to point you in the right direction of good stuff. So definitely take advantage of these guys. Very, very generous with their time, and I know they'd be happy to help you out. So we'll get the group DMs fired up. Pete,
for sure.
Final words here.
Yeah, I mean, they're calling for a new host. I think Chris is going to be the host of Club Top Shot. So, Chris, you've taken that over until the NFL season starts. But yeah, in all seriousness, thanks so much for coming on. Chat loves you. It's really cool. I love hearing athletes talk about their interests outside of the sport that they play. And you did a great job with that. And also just kind of what you're preaching about helping the new players in the league, being in Jacksonville, obviously a really young team. I think that's so important, and it's good to know that there's guys like you in the NFL that are helping the young guys.
Jack, final words on the precipice of your big knockout competition.
Stay wet out there, Chris.
Oh man, hey, whenever I'm in the club, it's wet.
All right. I also want to give just as we exit here, a few shout outs, like the amount of people coming out, wanting to be a part of Club Top Shot, helping out. We got my guy, Steven, we got Augustine, we got, Luke, all helping us out with our video assets. We got my guy Clay running the Twitter account. Like, honestly, you guys are so awesome. We appreciate it. We're having an absolute blast. Like I said, I don't know the next time the club's going to get thrown up, since I am taking a little time to recharge the batteries, but we will be back. We'll be back better than ever. Thank you guys for tuning in. Thank you to Chris. Check out his Twitch stream. Follow him on Twitter. We love you guys. We'll see you next time.